All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into Locker Room Sports Talk. Glad y'all can come by and hang out with us, make us a part of your day. We only ask for about 2 hours on your Sunday evenings. We're in here, we're fired up, and we're ready to get things started. Tonight, we got your local scores. I'll put them up here on the bottom of the screen, get them rolling. We'll go through them and talk about them. We'll have our player of the week, also one of our favorite parts of the show. And we'll tool around with some other scores around the state, some surprising games, and kind of mostly a lot of not surprising games. And of course, college football, uh, Nebraska hanging on, making it close. Vanderbilt playing a good game, and Auburn finally getting their first SEC victory by running the football. Congrats to Quiz Hunter for
what they said they needed to do all year, right?
leading the SEC in rushing now. Yeah,
250. Was it 58?
278.
278.
258.
And against a good defense. I mean,
yeah, wow. Kentucky were 33, I think, defense. Run defense, 33rd. I mean, that's, they're not Tennessee defense, but
right, 33 out of what, 133? Well, Colorado, man, bowl eligible.
Yep. We kind of thought maybe they may be. I thought they had a shot to be bowl eligible. And I don't know from here on out. We'll look at the AP poll. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So y'all hang around for a full show. And we got a special guest come in by hang out with us tonight. New state record holder for single game rushing. Alex Baty from Gillsville High School over here, close school to our heart. My mom taught school over there, and knowed Alex his whole life. I've known his daddy and them since they were little too.
Good boy. We like him a lot.
Yeah. We're going to bring Alex in here and let him talk about his team and brag on his teammates. And Alex, what's going on, buddy?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
How's it feel?
Good. How are y'all?
How's it feel to be a statewide superstar for having a single game rushing record? Ain't that awesome?
Feels good.
I guess everybody's going to ask you this question. Did you cramp up any during the night, or?
I did cramp. I did.
I was 43. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was running down the middle of the field and I cramped, and I fell right in the middle of the field. I cramped once.
That may on 43 carries. That may be a record for carries for a Gillsville player. I know it's not for a state record for carries, but 43. But you still average 12 yards a carry.
Man, that's
43 carries. That's amazing. So.
What was we'll go through a few questions and we'll let you talk about your lineman and talk about Coach Knapp. But I want to, Coach Knapp, I guess, during the game, as it's going on, is he kind of in his head keeping up with kind of where you are? And then he kind of realized, like, holy crap, he's got to be getting close to 500, or did he just, it never really kind of hit him, Alex, or he just kept calling plays, or what?
Well, Corey stands on the sidelines, Corey Colbert, and he keeps up with all of our stats, and he tells Knapp where I'm at and how many carries I have and stuff.
The story I heard, now I don't know, that he came over to him and said that he's got a good chance to break Jerry's record. And Knapp said, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. And then when you broke it, Corey went on the site and said, well, let's see how much. He goes, Coach, he's got a good chance to break the state record, because they were only 65 yards apart. So 60 yards apart.
Once he kind of realized like where he was, I guess, was there. I know he was happy for you guys, and was he celebrating with you, or was he fired up? Being Coach Knapp, or what?
Yeah, he was fired up for me. He was like, yeah, we need you to go get this. So I was like, all right, let's do it then.
Well, and on through the game, I guess we'll start at the front of the game. Your first couple of rushes, did you feel any different, I guess, or did you just feel like a normal night, or did you think, I feel good tonight? I feel like I'm going to get up and go run tonight.
Well, when we came out, we kicked off, and then we started on defense, and they busted like a 60-yard touchdown second play of the game, and I was like, okay, maybe I need to turn it on.
Yeah.
So we came out there, and then on my first play, I got the ball. It was a sweep to the right, and I got stuffed. I think I lost like 2 yards. And then I was like, okay, I got to turn it on. And then the next play, I got it, and I took it for like 70.
Wow.
Scored my first touchdown, second carry.
Well, Whipple was up at one point, 22-8. And what, y'all went on a 48-0 run?
Yeah.
And it went 22-8, then 24-22, and didn't Sintel run the pick back 107 yards? Was that the last play of the half?
That was the last play of the half. The buzzer went off in the middle of it. Yeah.
When I saw him intercepted, and I thought, that's a good play, but I never expected him to take it.
Yeah, it was crazy. He caught it in the very back corner of the end zone.
Yeah. Now that's the second longest, right?
Yeah, second longest in the
state history.
Books, yeah.
And they threw a flag on it and then picked it up. Now they did call one of your long runs back, right?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But now you gained a lot of those yards back that they took from you on that play. I think.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a 65-yard touchdown, and they got caught all the way back, and then we went down the field and scored.
Yeah. Yeah, he had that. He could have had possibly more.
Wow.
But he might have gained what they took from him back. I don't know. But he did break one.
How about that? Well, I guess talk about your linemen. Tell us. I mean, without them,
Oh yeah, without them, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
They're
Who's all your linemen? Tell us about them.
All right. Well, snapping the ball, we have Caden Angle.
Yeah,
he's a senior. He's one of my good friends.
Yeah,
he's a pretty good football player. He's good on offense and defensive side of the ball. And then my guards are Tanner Hughes and Bradley Smith. Tanner Hughes is a senior. He's one of my good friends too, and he's dominant. He's real dominant. He will pancake you. He's pretty good. And then Bradley Smith, he's a 10th grader. He's gonna be something special. He's gonna be good.
So he was one of the freshmen on that from last year's team that got to just come in there and had to play a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And your tackles?
Tackles, I have Dalen Dobbins and Zeke Bryson. Dalen's a junior. He's one of the. I think we only have like 2 juniors this year.
Mm.
And he's one of the 2. He's gonna be real good. He's strong. He's dominant like Tanner. Him and Tanner, when they go to the same side, it's more than likely where the ball's going.
Right.
Well, I see it. Cut the show off. He just gave away all their secrets.
If that lineman's over here, they're going right here.
He's coming right here with it. Did you ever feel like through the game, I guess early you probably don't. Do you kind of keep up with your yards? Most time you don't. You just kind of go out there and you're just playing from one play to the next.
Well, normally I'll walk over to Corey and ask, or he'll walk up and tell me just what I'm at. Yeah, he lets me know frequently.
But you don't get caught up in it, really, right?
Oh, no, not really.
Like you don't keep up with it while you're playing. Hey, I got 9 there.
Of course not.
I'm sure some people do that now.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess, as the season's kind of, went on, now this is not his only game. He was our player of the week just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he had, over 300 rushing that night.
Yeah, 307, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then John Holder and Coach Short from High School Football Alabama, John, they brought him up during the show and talked about him. And he kind of jokingly said, darn, I wish that he would have waited. I'd already give him our player of the week.
Uh-huh.
He said, I'd love to give it to him this week, darn it. But, we didn't give it to him. So, and same here too. But we have our player of the year stuff, and we'll put you in there with our guys right here in the county for that. And I'm sure you stand a great shot at that stat. So we're proud of you. And, another game would be great. And I guess you won't know probably till this week, I'm sure.
No, tomorrow. Have to know by tomorrow, won't you?
Yeah, you need to know tomorrow.
I have a couple more linemen to talk about.
Yes, please tell us.
I never talked about Zeke, and Zeke's a 10th grader. He's gonna be real good too.
Right.
And then I have a stand-up tight end and Carson Ray.
Oh,
he's dominant. He's dominant. He's a real physical dude. He likes getting in people's grills.
We watched him he's played forever.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I mean, just the intro video on the show here when it comes on is actually him.
Yep.
Grabbing the quarterback and throwing him down.
His hands up like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made a big play. I don't remember who they were playing that night. He threw the quarterback down, and I think they got a fumble. And he's just the guy that's going to show up every day. He's going to show up. Damn snots. He's going to show up to practice every day. And and I guess you had 7 or 8 tackles also on the night. Yeah.
Well, and then Colin Hendon, he's a tight end.
Colin.
He blocks a good bit. And then my other backs, they ISO block. They let some good blocks from me. Jack Sintel, Aiden Heinrich, they all block real good.
Yeah, they're good backs too. I mean,
Jack's
good
back.
They'll be. Now, which one of those are seniors this year?
Carson Ray's a senior. Tanner Hughes is a senior. Caden Engle's a senior. And then our quarterback, Hunter Allman, he's a senior.
Yeah, he's a senior.
Well, you bring back
a lot.
Colin's a senior too.
Colin is a senior. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Jack and Aiden are sophomores.
Yeah, they're sophomores. They still have 2 years.
That's a lot of time for Knapp to be to bring them through.
Well, I'm going to talk about y'all's turnaround right quick. Y'all went 4-5, but you lost 5 games, but they were all close. Y'all played well in them.
Yeah.
But you lost a 10-0 team, 2 8-2s, 3 8-2s, a 7-3. How did that feel to just have that much? Y'all really battled this year. And I'm sure that makes you proud to have played that well all year. I mean, y'all pretty much played well the whole year.
Yeah, I feel like we played well. We had a lot of close games, but I feel like if we get started earlier in those close games, that we end up winning several of those.
Yeah, it could have been different. Yeah, well, once y'all realized you can play with people, But I mean, that was a big turnaround because last year was pretty rough.
A lot of freshmen
for Galesville, and but now this year, I just thought they, like I said, even the games they lost, they were in them.
Yeah,
I mean, the Raglan game, that one went down to the wire, did it not?
Yeah,
Alex?
It came down right there close to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they had and that was for the last spot.
Yeah, that was for the last spot in the region.
Mm-hmm. But, I just thought y'all had a good year.
Yeah, I do too. The practice and the summer and the workouts, and I come over and see you guys some, and there's no doubt, if anybody don't know, and a lot of people don't know about Galesville, and they're a small school, and a flashing light, really just a stop sign, 4-way town right there in northeast Alabama, kind of at the bottom here at the foots of the Appalachian Mountains, headed up 35. Actually, the school, I'm not going to do a history lesson, but the seat was actually over there 110 years ago. It was actually over there in that part of town because of Civil War movement, soldiers and troops moving, coming down the mountain. They come through that part of the area. Geographically, it was a good route to come down to go to Rome, which is where cannonballs was made and that type of stuff. So if you love small town type football, maybe they'll get this other game this week. And if your team's not playing this week, guys, ride over to Galesville to Knapp Field. It's named after Brian's dad. They've been a part of that program over there for,
since the 50s.
70 years.
Yeah.
Go over there and watch them play. If they get this game up, I'll post tomorrow if I find out if they get a game. Go watch Galesville play. Go cheer on Alex and the Trojans and see him add to his
or maybe get 2,000. I think there's been
ongoing record.
One back in Galesville history game 2,000. Of course, that was Johnny McDupree. I'm sure you've heard of him, Alex. Have you ever heard of Johnny McDupree?
I've heard the name.
Yeah,
he's a legend over there.
Yeah, I think played in the 70s.
Yeah,
but now you might have, from what I've heard, maybe 3 backs, maybe you and 3 others are the only ones that's rushed for the type of yards you've rushed for. You, Johnny McDupree, a guy named Chris Talent, and Ronnie Burt had about 1,800 yards. So you may, I don't know, you may have the second highest total. And there was another back named John Watwood.
I remember him.
That was played with Bull and them. But you may have the second highest total in school history, possibly.
Yeah, running through that and seeing Tony Dixon on there.
Yeah, who played at Kentucky. That's whose record you broke. He played for Kentucky.
Yeah. So I guess, talking about college, is there any are you interested in playing somewhere? Or are you trying to maybe walk on, or you just don't care? You just ready to be done with school and go to work, or where are you at?
I've thought about it, and I still haven't really made my mind up. But I've been thinking about going and playing somewhere.
Now he's a good baseball player too, guys. If you don't know, their baseball season will be kicking off here 1st of April or so, into March, and he's a good baseball player too. You'll have to go.
Y'all got a lot coming back in baseball, right?
Should be a good team. Should be
we'll
a good region.
We'll have a big senior class in baseball.
Yeah. So they he's a good baseball player too. Play basketball. You kind of.
Do you play basketball, Alex?
I'm playing this year. I haven't played since I was in 9th grade, though. So, yeah.
Okay.
Coach Brandon conned me into that one.
Oh.
You go in and, go in and score some points.
Yeah.
It's good to keep you in shape, running up down the court some, get to hang out with your buddies. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah. Making it last.
Yeah, and it is. And it's your senior year, and you do. I advise mine or any kids, play everything you can play your senior year and just go out and have a ball. And because some of this stuff you'll never get to do again.
No, never.
No, never. You'll never play football if you don't play college because, you just don't run around the yard and throw the ball up to yourself, I guess, and tackle trees. I guess you could if you wanted to. You can hit balls off tee. You can shoot basketball in the yard, but football is very special. Is it probably you like it better than baseball, or?
It's a close race there between baseball and football. I've always been a big baseball guy, but football's grown on me a lot.
Now, what's mom and dad think about this after the game? I'm sure your mom just picked you up and nearly choked you out, probably, right, hugging your neck.
Oh yeah, they was excited for me.
Got good people, and we're proud of you. And maybe I'll get a game this week, man.
She called me right after and said, "Why'd you leave?" Well, I left in the 4th quarter, but y'all had the game in hand. And I'm telling you, I'm not making excuses. Just don't watch a game from the end zone. Go to the side, because I had no idea. Somebody mad had texted me, "You think Alex got 200 or 300?" And I said, "Yeah, he's probably got 200 or 300."
Yeah, I knew you'd have, a good night.
And, on some of those plays from end zone, you can't really tell who's running, way down on the other end. So I knew it was probably you or Jack, but I knew you had a lot. But, I had no idea that it was and I think you had a few more after I left.
Yeah.
You probably apparently had 400 when I left.
Darn.
So
where's it? I guess if you do get another game, where does it go from here? It's just next team up, and you just go out and play your best. And is that what the plan is?
Oh yeah, just go out there, end the season on a good note. Go out there, try to get a win.
Well, like during media days, what we always ask you guys, what do you want to kind of leave behind as your mark as a senior to the young guys? And at one time, you was the young guy, and you had guys you looked up to. And I'll ask you again, what's something you want to leave for freshmen? And this is going to be seen by people from all over the state. There's people, Texas, Florida, Kentucky, South Carolina that watch this. So just advice to any young kid watching the show, hey, I started from somewhere but I believed in myself, and, these type of things can happen. So what advice do you leave to young football players out there?
I just never give up when something's not going your way. Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I think you've had a good career.
Yeah.
Wherever you played, I thought you played well. And of course, this is my last question. I thought you would do well up there, but have you exceeded even beyond your expectations?
Yeah. Did you go in? Well, I know you don't go in thinking I'm going to break the single game rushing record, but
and rush for 200 yards a game.
Yeah, but did you just think, well, I think I'm going to get 1,000 over here this year? Was that in your head?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Knapp before the season started. One second. I talked to Coach Knapp before the season started, and I was like, "So how many yards do you think I need to go All-State?" And he told me, like, Keeland and Michael Reynolds, he said they went All-State with, like, 1,200, 1,300 yards.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of your goal.
Yeah, that was my goal, just to go All-State. And then all of a sudden, I was already at 1,300, and we had 2 games left. And I was like, it might just go further and further.
Well, I think you'll get that. I don't think a back's ever gained 1,800 yards and not made All-State.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So I believe you got that wrapped
now,
up.
There are some, and I ain't going to get political, but this North-South game, and I want to say first, the kids that are on the list are very well deserving.
Right.
First, I want to put that out there because I'm for kids. That's probably the reason we started doing this show.
Uh-huh.
But there's a lot of kids in small schools like this guy here. They just don't get shots. It's always the 7, 6, 5, some 4A. Every once in a while, you may get a 3A kid. I don't know of hardly any. Now, Carol Levi did, and I think Hayes did. I'm talking about Levi from Carol from 5, and Steve's boy, he did, and they're 3A. He got
3A.
to play, defense, but there's just very few guys that get a shot 1 through 3A, and there's not a lot of 4A. There's some, but
no, not
so
as many as you'd think.
I'm just throwing myself on the mercy of the court for AHSAA and the directors to take a good, long look, 1 through 7A, because those, especially the 5, 6, 7A guys, they're getting D1 scholarships. They're that good. They're getting a lot of light. A lot of these guys at 1, 2, 3A are not getting these D1 offers. For the most part, they're not. And I think it would just be to help highlight a child's career that may not be able to go play on to the next level, to let him finish his career and play in an all-star game.
Right. Yes.
That's all I'm saying. But we're here with you, bro, and we're proud of you, and we love you, and we'll help get to see you soon. Maybe y'all get another game Friday. So let me know, as soon as you can, and I'll post it, and just keep killing it, son. I mean, why not? Just pick them up, put them down, and go out there and do it again.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll go over 2,000 in the season off with a win.
Well, don't think about it. I know it's going to be.
5-5.
It's hard not to think about it now.
Yeah.
But it's like baseball. When you're thinking about trying to crush it, I'd strike out. But when I just went up there and just had a nice swing through, bam, you hit one over, or you knocking the fence with it, So don't let it get in your head. Stay humble and stay hungry, and I know you will.
Of course.
Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. See you, bro.
All right. See ya.
Good luck this week if y'all get that game.
All right. Thank you.
See you, buddy. Okay.
535.
535 yards there.
Oh, and which we've already talked about that game, but they had 557 rushing and 592 of offense. So and if you count return yards, including the interceptions, they had 744.
Wow.
But that stuff don't count on yards. But if you want to,
and I'll say this, and we'll move on to our local games, and we'll give some stats and stuff. Talk about the guys. As far as Alex here, and I have reached out to Alvin Henderson from Elba. He's the leader in overall career state
10,000
rushing 10,000 yards. I've reached out to him. I'd like to get him on here. Just let him talk like Alex. Tell us about his team and his coaches and kind of the journey that he's been on, and I like to have him on. Both these guys play 1A football.
Yes.
And
1A.
I seen comments on Alvin's post when Campbell went up there and kind of presented him with
I thought that was good.
Absolutely. I love that.
That was great.
Guys, that's what this is about. It's about celebrating kids. And when we get away from anything but that, you're being silly. Some of it's just kind of being narcissistic and just about self. And that's absolutely what it should not be. I don't care if he played the Smurfs. Henderson run for 10,000 yards. And Alex run for 535 yards in a game. I don't care if they lined up.
5 football fields.
If he lined up and played the
Piggly Wiggly Meat Department.
Yeah, them or John Lamar's fish bait tackle at Harton's. Don't do that.
We get too caught up in that. Who they play?
I know. Don't do that. Not for high school. College is a little different because it's a little more spread out.
Mm-hmm.
But for 1A football,
for kids to do that,
it's crazy.
10,000.
Yeah. So for Alex and for Alvin, shout out to the guys. Are two of the best stats in the state.
Yeah.
Ever through 1A football.
Oh, I know. And I've heard that about Alvin Henderson. We played 1A. Like, really?
Well, don't do that. I don't. And it. Yeah, I know. And
They used to never say that. That was never said.
Well, not kids. Kids are more susceptible to things now because of because of the internet. People were just mean, bro. People were just rude. I seen some rally somewhere. Somebody was doing something. Some like 16-year-old girl screaming at a little kid, a toddler in a stroller.
Are you serious? I'm not laughing.
I know. So, and that's it. We'll move on for that. Just congratulate them. If you can't say something nice, just don't go in there and put nothing. Just if you see Alex out, say, "Hey, man, good job." And if we get Alvin on here, you want to come on here and comment. Don't say, "Well, he just played." By God, I bet if he played at Sarah, well, if he did play at Hoover or Saraland, I don't know. If he come up through that system, his God-given ability is still there.
Yes. It don't matter where you play.
No matter what classification. Now,
they would have been better. They would have been.
We don't know. It's like saying Ali and Tyson, how would they fight? Or could LeBron James go back in time? Could he play like Charles Oakley and them played back in the day? Well, we'll never know. Mm-hmm. So these are young men, and just congratulate them and just.
I've even heard it. Alabama kids that are good. I've even heard people say, well, they wouldn't have been good in Georgia. Well, my gosh, they're bigger than universities over there, so they might not have been. Yeah. I don't know. It don't matter.
Yeah, just celebrate the kid. That's what we're here to do.
And in Georgia, they wouldn't have been good in Texas.
Well, I got they wouldn't go out in California and played Mater D and done that.
Okay.
What are we doing? Yeah, just pat the kid on the head, say, good job. We're proud of you. So first on the list there, we've been through Gillsville stats, talked about some of them. 62-28 over Woodville. Any other stats for that game?
Jack Centel had 12 tackles and a 107-yard pick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How you do that?
Come all the way across the field, too. He didn't just run on a straight line. He intercepted it, ran all the way to the left, and hit the sideline. Gone. He's going to be a good player. Well, he is now. But, hey, let's not look at Alex, of course, 1,800 yards, 70 tackles. But Jack, sophomore, 600 yards and probably 60 or 70 tackles, 107-yard interception return.
And our players of the weeks are usually junior and senior guys most of the time, not always.
No.
Unless you have something you stand out, or something how the week falls and sometimes how we can't help it. But so we look forward for Jack. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be player of the week next year.
Say it sometime.
Or the next 2 years. So that's kind of that. And Sandrock, the Fighting Heaths, host Gaston, 47-8. Had a great victory. Alec Ashley
went wild, didn't he? 5 touchdowns.
Great game. Throwing the ball all over the place. He was our player of the week about a month ago.
200 yards, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. I don't know if that's been done much in this county. That may be a county record.
Is that something he can hold over? His brother's Ace, actually, by the way, was quarterback over there a year before.
I've never.
Has Ace done it?
Guys, tell me if I'm wrong. I've never heard of anybody throwing 5 touchdowns in a ball game. There may have been. I'm not going to say there's not.
Did Cody do it when you was at center?
No.
You can't remember
5? No.
Well, yeah, they had so many.
Well, they had so many weapons.
Running.
He probably had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, total. He run 2 and throw 3.
But just throwing 5, he might have. He could have. Yeah, definitely. You know that. He about to do whatever he wants.
Cody's he was Mr. Alabama. So if people that don't know, Todd was coaching that team and part of that staff, and just go back and go back and look it up. Cody was awesome. But so Sandrock takes care of business 47-8.
Yeah.
Ashley has a good night.
Robinson had a good
Cam Robinson, kid we've watched play forever over there. He's a Sandrockian.
Yeah, 108 yards. Cunningham, it said he had 8 catches for 93. Gavin Cunningham.
Yeah, he's a good ball player.
2 touchdowns.
Him and Cox, and they're all
Trappenstead.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, he's a good basketball player too. His dad had coached basketball. Boy, he set the court on fire last year. I can't wait to see them play basketball.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be good. 47-yard touchdown catch. So.
Yeah, good stuff. Sandrock takes care of business, and Cherokee County Warriors. Their last game finished out regular season. They already had won the region.
9-1.
49-6.
They rushed for about 400, didn't they? Oh, Tristan
Brown, yeah. Tristan led the team for rushing.
146. This is just before you get into that.
Yeah.
Woods, 69. Griffin, another 144-yard game.
I seen that. And how many passes was it? It was like
5, 6.
5 for 7? Or what
He's
was
like
it?
16 for 17 on the year
Yeah.
for 600 yards. I mean, he may have the highest quarterback rating in state history.
Yeah, and I don't think he has a driver's license.
No, well, I know he went 5 for 7 against Oaks Bluff. Then he was 5. He's 15 for his last 19 for 450 yards. I mean, it's ridiculous. He's getting on up there. He's nearly got 700 yards passing according to the stats.
I can't, and I've mentioned this before, and I'll probably say it again 1,000 times next year. We're going to have a sure enough quarterback battle. We got 2 young quarterbacks at Sandrock and the other one at Cherokee County. It's going to be back and forth every week. You're going to tune in here and find out who probably threw for the most.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cedar Bluffs is back.
Yeah,
he come on. I mean, he
Bryson's,
come on and threw for.
He's learning.
Yeah,
I mean, he's done a good job.
Which Stallings is back now.
Yeah.
But,
well, their seasons. They'll play
Donahoe, then they'll have
Tuscaloosa Academy.
Which
played Coosa.
Yeah.
Friday. So that's kind of around here, kind of what's going on. This is kind of finished up regular season, and we'll look on here and look at some playoffs. Now, I'll tell you this right now, which we knew.
I'm looking at some scores right now.
Friday, we kind of know that Cherokee County, they'll play the loser of Madison Academy and Westminster. There's still stuff going on, okay, in that cross region with them, because this year they're doing 8 plays 6 and 5 plays 7 region. That's how they're doing it this year. I thought they was going to do 7 plays 8 and 5 plays 6. But they're not. They're doing evens and odds.
Evens and odds this year.
They usually swap it up. Now next year it'll be 7 and 8 and 5 and 6. So Cherokee County will host. So be prepared there for Cherokee County to host a game there.
Okay.
And then we'll look at Spring Garden and who they're going to match up and play. They'll have Ramburn now this week. They still got another regular season game.
There's 2. Well, see, Gainesville, as of right now, doesn't play.
Right.
And, of course, Sandrock plays Whitesburg. Have a chance to go 5-5. Spring Garden, Ramburn. Cherokee County's done. So you got 2 teams possibly done. Cedar Bluff goes to Donahoe, which Matt already mentioned that. So.
Yeah, it should be it's a game they can win.
Yes, definitely.
Their defense is stepped. They've lost two or 3 games by like 1. They've lost like 3 games by like total 4 points.
Yes.
So it'd be a good time for them to get hot and have to travel a nice road trip, go play Tuscaloosa Academy.
Pretty good squad.
And I seen them in person, bumped into Coach Crane, stood there on the fence and talked to Coach Crane a good bit and watched Tuscaloosa and Coosa play and kind of get a good idea of what's going on. Tuscaloosa Academy was about 18 for 30 or so, threw for about 200. Run the ball a little bit. They can run the ball a little, but that quarterback, that ball comes off his hand.
Yeah, good one.
Yes, sir. He's kind of got a little Jack Hayes to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The ball it's like when he just does this, it just explodes off. I mean, it's just, and there's none were like this. There's no ducks. There's no ball. I mean, remember how Cole used to throw the ball, and there's a lot of quarterbacks too, but Cole Cole throw the ball, and it's so tight that the ball wobbles like this. It's a spiral, and it's wobbling. This boy, they can throw the football. Cedar Bluff's going to have
So it's like he puts a perfect spiral.
Man.
Well, I watched Baker Mayfield throw, which they got beat, but he threw a pass today, and I'm telling you, it was just beautiful. He
missed a few targets. He overthrew a few guys up the sideline some. But they're going to really throw the ball. It's going to be very challenging for Cedar Bluff's D-backs. It's going to be very challenging for them. And we'll talk about Spring Garden and their playoffs. But right now is the most favorite part of the show. This neck on this shirt, I got about a 20-inch neck, and this thing's just tight. Big Diamond Player of the Week. We went through a few of the guys. We talked about some stats, and we just kind of draw straws and put a name on a straw and kind of draw straws. And it has to be, of course, a kid that's never won it before. And of course, the team had to win.
Yeah.
That's just the standard. Here you go. Here's who's going to win. So this week, Dean, who's our big diamond player of the week?
Sandrock running back Kane Robinson.
Yes.
He went over 800 yards. I've got his stats here. I think 808. He's been a driving. They've had a better year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they went 2-8 last year. They're 4-5. Got a chance to go 5-5, and he had 108 yards in that win the other day. He's a good back.
Yeah, he's solid, man. He
is. And
waist, legs, shoulders. Cam's
I thought he ran good against Cedar Bluff.
He's full grown. He's hard to tackle.
Yeah, he's tough.
You hit him and you got to hold on because he's just he's a big kid and he's strong. So congrats to Cam on being player of the week.
Yeah, and like Matt said, we had some other players with some great stats, but they won it.
Yeah, and we
Alec Ashley threw for 200.
Yeah,
and it all works out in the long run. There's probably a game back there we should have given it to Robinson and gave it. And now Ashley had it this week, and Alex. And you had about 3 weeks you could have given it to him. So we only got one more regular season winner.
Yeah, we'll have one more,
that, which will obviously be from Cedar Bluff, Sandrock Center, or Spring Garden, I guess.
Yeah. Let's bring this up.
I was trying to wonder who our winners had been this year. Alex, Hunter Stallings, Robinson, Ashley. Tristan win it?
Yep.
Tay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Keyshawn Woods?
Mm-hmm.
Bates? Welsh?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Let's see. Well, where's it at here?
We got $25. Whoever can tell us whoever's won it every week since we've been on.
Well, I guess I'll start, but Luke Welch is probably a good start.
Yeah, he's won it.
Luke and Riley and Weston and Coop were, we could have given to Luke every week. He was just, he just dominated.
Yeah, you don't want to get into that though, because
that's why we had
have kids that can get it every week.
Yeah, we had to decide then because we could, and I was like, we can't. And Luke wouldn't want it every week. He's not that kind of kid. He would want other kids to share, and right, because Luke is a super nice guy.
Well, and it just kind of loses its luster after a while.
Well, I ain't got to play hard. I won a big diamond player of the week. I ain't got to get to it.
I knew a business that would give employee of the month, and they gave it to the same guy like 12 times in a row. And it really frustrated the other employees.
Let's see. Well, say it's looking for the
rankings.
Well, no, I was looking for the playoffs. I can't find it.
What I got on here.
I thought it was already on here. Records. There we go. Brackets. Okay. Sorry about the delay there. All right. I'm going to take these headphones off. Need these more, Alex.
I didn't think about that.
Alex, glad he could come by and we could talk to him a little bit.
Let me see what.
Then let's look at this 1A right here, ladies and gentlemen. On this north kind of part, I'm not going, because we're going to do this for the next couple of weeks. So,
yeah, I mean,
we'll just do these top
there's not much going to change.
We'll do these top kind of brackets here, like these two top boxes.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of around here. At the top, you got Valley Head traveling to Wadley, Hubbardville traveling to Meek. That'll be that top box to see. Two of those four will meet in the second round. Okay.
Meek's been playing good again.
And down here in this second part, guys, here you can see Region 8, number 1, Spring Garden will host Victory Christian. There are 4 out of Region 6. And then down here, Regions 5 and 7, number 2, Berry will face Region 7, number 3, Addison.
That'll be a good game.
So the 2 of those 4 out of Spring Garden, Victory, Berry, and Addison, 2 of those guys wind up pulling down here and meeting. And then winners of Wadley, Valley Head, Meek, and Hubbardville two of those will play in week 2. Then November the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually when the tires hit the pavement.
Third week. That'd be round 3.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
November 22nd. That Thanksgiving. If you're practicing football and you're getting ready to play a game Thanksgiving week, I always say you've had a good season.
Yeah.
You've had a good season if you're practicing Thanksgiving week. So
it should have been the semis, wasn't it?
Yeah, the semis will be November 29th.
Yeah.
And the state games will be, of course, December the 5th or
6th,
something. 5th, 6th, 7th, or something.
Go on the 6th, don't we?
And we don't pick games. We can say who maybe like Wadley's probably just going to be favored.
I would think.
Probably to win the whole darn thing outright.
Not just beat Valley.
No.
Beat everybody.
Yes, and this other bracket here we listed Spring Garden, Victory, Berry, and Addison. Spring Garden, I think, will be favored to come out of that box to go to round 2.
I'd like to see them. I mean, obviously, they're on a collision course to meet.
Wow.
Wadley and Spring Garden.
I want to see Big Jacob and Wilkes match up, line up on the field, and square up.
Look at something right
square
there
up on each other.
Stats.
And on the other side, that y'all can go in here and look at these. You can go on that Preps net or whatever and find these matchups.
Let's see.
A lot of good looking teams over here in the 1A. Of course, Sweetwater's in there. Maplesville's in there. All these are very familiar names with you. Leroy, Region 3, number 4, still being up for grabs to see who Leroy will play. Georgiana's in there. There's Linden. Look, there's Alba, Alvin Henderson. They're going to play.
Stats on Wadley.
They're going to play Verbena. Alba will.
Verbena's had a big good year. One of the better teams they've had in a while. Will they play them in the first round?
Yeah. Good luck with that. Well, I mean, region number 1 plays 4. You got
a guy that's probably going to start for Auburn one day.
Yeah. All right, let's look at 2A, Dean. We'll start here at the top. We'll just do the top 2. Y'all can go look at these, and we're going to talk about these a lot. May have Coach Short on maybe next week, and he wanted to come on one day. Maybe come up here and sit with us.
Yeah,
and look at this. Region 6, number 1 versus number 4 out of Region 8. Coosa Christian looks like they'll play. They'll host Red Bay. That's what it's looking like right now.
Red Bay's not been as strong as they usually are. No,
I'll put the screen up here if y'all want to look at it with us. And y'all can go look these up. And well, I'll be there. Well, that ain't going. It keeps closing. Well, anyway, Red Bay will be at Coosa, and this is those top brackets. Sutherland will be at Pleasant Valley. Hey, congratulations to him for Coach Nix is at
8-2.
That's
I've never known them to go.
I know this is the best record that they've had. So they're around here in the area. So we'll give shout out to the coach for doing a good job.
Yeah, he has. And when he was a coach at, somebody said he was a coach at Raglan when they were so good back in the 10 or 12 years ago.
Yeah,
went to the semifinals. He must be a good coach, Jonathan Nix.
Yep. So Sutherland will be at Pleasant Valley, and they're going to get to host a playoff game. It's never happened.
I don't remember.
Never.
It. I don't.
Never happened. I think they got a good shot to beat Sutherland and go on and they'll get Coosa round 2. Now the other box down here is going to be Susan Moore will play Winston County. Winston County is playing good right now, and Vincent will host. We don't know yet. Region 7, number 3, whoever that's going to turn out to be.
Is Mitchell still the coach at Winston? Mark Mitchell? He may not.
I don't know.
He was.
Yeah, y'all tell us.
Somebody tell us that. Mark Mitchell.
That says Region 7, number 4 will travel to Tuscaloosa Academy. So it's not. They don't have Cedar Bluff penciled in on that. So.
Cedar Bluff's in.
Yeah, well, Valley had losing, I know, and then they beat Sandrock head to head, and so they beat.
It's Pisgah, Pleasant Valley, North Sand, Cedar Bluff, right?
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll look at 3A and we'll look at 4A, and we'll let you guys go over there and check it out.
Pleasant Valley finish 8-2 or 7-3?
I think it was 8-2.
Wow.
Yeah, congrats to them. So 3A around this area, This is for sure done deal. I'm pretty sure I've heard this from a few other people also. Collinsville.
Oh, Collinsville. Yeah.
Teddy and Ernie fighting Willinghams. I got to see Jerry the other day, Ernie's brother. Got to talk to him a little bit.
They're in a good region.
That's tough.
Yeah.
This Piedmont region is hard too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This region 6 and 8 or North 3A is tough.
You got good teams going in the playoffs in 4th place.
Yeah.
I mean, Collinsville's got a good football team.
I think a lot of these other teams here you're going to see sprinkle down this. They got good shots to win it.
Oh yeah.
So Collins will go over here and play Piedmont. Vandermont will go to Lauderdale County, and then that Region 6 number 4 team will play Fife. And I just seen a thing the other day where they had
Geraldine second.
They had a possibility. No, they're in the same region with Fife.
Oh, okay.
They're in with Fife and Sylvania and.
Is it? But I mean, Geraldine finished second in that region.
Yeah, they'll play Sylvania.
Fife lost 2 games, but they were both out of
Geraldine.
Region, right?
Geraldine will go to Locust Fort.
Or was Coosa Christian? What? No, Coosa Christian's 2-8. Never mind.
Yeah.
Geraldine go to Locust Fork. I'd say Geraldine will go deep.
They get Locust Fort first game. And then Midfield plays Mars Hill. Sylvania's still in there. Shout out Coach Little Nelson over there in Sylvania. Colbert County and Winfield. That'll be a good game. And Rogers will beat Gordo. That's another good game.
Gordo's good. God, Gordo, Thomas.
They've come home, man.
T.R. Miller.
You go through the top power rated teams in that 3A.
Oh my gosh. T.R. Miller beat. I know we're going to get in that in a second. They beat Wayside 43-0.
That's crazy. And I told you a while ago, Cherokee County, here's 4A. Number 4 from Region 8 is going to be Winston County or Madison Academy.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to play.
Right.
So you'll know the loser will be 4. And yes, that's how they word it. And the winner will be 3. So the 3 from that region will play 2 from the cross region. So which will be the hosting team for, let's see, where's that Region 8 number 2? The winner's going to host Anniston. So Anniston will get the winner of Madison Academy and Westminster. Cherokee County will get the loser of the group.
Okay.
Because Cherokee County being 1.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, they won the region for the
yeah.
3rd year.
Yeah, three straight years. And also, they tied. I'm pretty sure this actual game put Cherokee County tied for the most wins in school.
Oh, with this group of kids?
Yes, for that
9th graders.
Yeah.
Well, say they won 8, 12, 13, and then 9.
It's been pretty amazing, hasn't it?
It's 40-something.
Hokes Bluff we're going to figure out who they're going to host, but Hokes Bluff will be in there. West Morgan host Hamilton. And like we said, Anniston will get they'll have to go to Madison Academy and Westminster. I don't know. I just flip a coin. The winner will host Anniston.
Okay.
So we got several teams in there.
Okay, I got you.
Now some of the South, St. James is in there. Pleasant Grove is just smashing people.
Yeah, they beat B by 3 touchdowns.
St. Michael's is playing good. Jackson is going to play Bullock County. Bibb County is going to play
Jackson 155-7. I didn't know their running back was a 5-star. Kroll.
No, I tell you, he's the only.
Well, I mean, you did tell. You told me he was the best.
Well, he's the only ESPN ranked 300 tailback in the state.
But I did not know he was a 5.
Yes.
Wow.
He's a sophomore.
5-star.
Yes. I watched him. I found out about them.
He's got over 1,000 yards now.
Yeah, we already started. We started watching them because we thought they may play center. So I started watching them. I share some of their stuff on the page, and I follow him on Twitter. And he's a nice young guy. I'd love to have him on here and talk to. We just try to help talk to kids and let them talk.
Well, I knew he was great, but I just did not.
You have to see him play. I shared a video with some parents from Cherokee County just so they could see. Jermaine and Tyrone and Jeremy Bryant. He's those 3.
Where is Jackson?
Down south.
Is that the town itself, or is that just the name of the school?
That's the school there. think it's in Jackson because there's a Jackson County. Oak Grove plays Ashford, and Mobile Christian plays Tallahassee. And I got to mention this too. This is crazy, and I may mention this too again here in a little bit. Dean 5A, Region 2, Montgomery Catholic. We've watched them play for years. They went on a run. They give up freaking 80 points all year long that year. Cherokee County had to go play them. They played them hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they still ain't lost a game.
And now they're in 5A.
Yeah. They still ain't lost.
And that was a bunch that had 16-0 in 3A.
Yeah.
About 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that
lost.
The quarterback's actually the tailback at Auburn now. Cobb, you've seen him play Kentucky a little bit. He run the ball four or five times.
He's Hunter's
Jeremiah
backup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got hurt last night, I think. I don't know if he's out for the year, but he just got injured.
They still ain't lost a game. They're on.
It doesn't matter in what class.
40 straight region wins. They're number one in this 5A. Period. I think 5A overall is the way if I'm wrong, y'all can tell me. That's the way I read it.
Wow. So it's not even been an obstacle for him.
No, he's like 54-2. And one of the twos is 5.
The coach.
Yeah. He's lost like 2 games since he's been there.
Yeah, I knew he had a ridiculous record before this year.
And I think
4-2.
I can't remember if somebody Bo was on, he could remind me. There was the other game. I was trying to think the other game. It may be. I don't remember if there was a rain game about 3 years ago. Is it Catholic played Academy? There's Montgomery Academy and there's Montgomery Catholic, and it's a tough rival. It's just kind of cross town. I don't remember if Catholic won that or if it was. I watched on NFHS and it poured rain and it come down to the last play of the game. Somebody snuck it in on the goal line. That may be his other loss on a last second end zone, drive or something.
Right.
Just amazing career. I just had to mention that. We're gonna brag on kids, and for kids to have come through as freshmen and just Cherokee County the same way. I mean, they're region wins.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When's the last region game they've lost?
Well, they lost to Piedmont last year.
That's not region. Non-region.
Year before that, they lost to Anion. That'd be it.
Yeah.
And it was right with a minute left.
So they ain't lost they've won
with 1 minute left.
They've won 20-something straight region games.
Yeah.
Cherokee County.
Yeah. And I think that might have been their first region game that year. I don't know. But they lost. They lost right at the end.
It was later in the year because they played them. They got them back.
They got them back. Yes.
Oh, fluff.
So that's the only one they've lost.
And it's okay that you lost that game because the tailback is rushed for about 1,000 yards at South Alabama. I'm serious. He's on. I think he's at 800
already.
Yeah.
I knew he was doing well. I didn't know he was doing that well.
Yeah. He had 600 something. Well, I didn't see him play. They did play this weekend. They did win. They beat Old Dominion or.
Let's see what Fluff's got.
They beat somebody. So that's just kind of an idea. And we'll go through some of these scores. 1A, 1-2. Dean's going to do a few 3 or 4. We're going to get out of here and talk about some Bama, Auburn, and Texas and Vandy. Week 10 here, Wadley did beat Winterboro. These are some games we wrote down to be good games. 52-12. I kind of didn't think it'd be the score, but Wilkes is great, man. He's another tailback. He's good. Leroy did beat Milry 19-7.
Yeah,
it's a good game.
Well, no, I don't know. No, it didn't shock me. Milry played them good.
They got a good squad, and Alvin Henderson, Elba, they beat Florala 40-24.
Sounds like it was a decent game.
That Florala team is pretty good. And listen, please tell people, Dean. Most people that's watching this are sports people, but if you're not, just tell people how hard it is to, as long as you've been around high school football for, since you played and coached, I don't know, 35 years you've been around it. How hard is it just to win a game?
It's not easy.
It's really not.
No.
To try to prepare kids and get them ready, and then not just win one, but win consecutive games.
Yeah, just keep on winning.
How hard is it?
Oh, gosh, difficult.
Well, Elba beats Florala 40-24. 2A, Pisgah beat North Sand Mountain 54-7.
Pisgah's good.
So where Pruitt got some kind of award for something, and And I'm not just saying this. I like to get him on here and talk to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The
I'm sure you
family
could.
tree is just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother coached at Tennessee. His daddy's coached for years. I guess he's still the coach.
Oh, Jeremy's kind of, I think, running. Well,
Running Plainview.
Jeremy, yes.
Jeremy. Yeah.
Yeah, Luke's at Pisgah.
Right. Yeah. Pisgah.
But and just other fans of teams that's played Pisgah have messaged me, and not me asking.
Mm-hmm.
This Pruitt guy up at Pisgah, class act. This guy, he could drown some teams 100-0. He pulls his guys quick. He's supportive of the other team. They said they heard him encouraging the kids from the other team.
Mm.
Hey man, come on, get up. You're all right. Let's go. Keep playing. I just heard that, and I don't know why they lie about another team's coach.
No, usually they hate the other team's coach. Most fans,
but I've heard a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think because his dad and them, that's just how they are.
Right.
And most of the old mountain coaches and a lot of old guys like that, because his daddy, they ain't gonna put up with a whole lot of crap. Probably,
No,
I bet his daddy
wouldn't
is probably
think so.
tough.
Yeah, I'd say so, probably.
So, North Sand, new coach, and he's been there a little bit now, and he's getting his feet under him. And, I look for them to be just right back in there. Don't count. I mean, that region 2A, region 7, Cedar Bluff, and
they're going to be all right.
Sand Rock's bringing a lot of kids back too. Cedar Bluff's going to bring back.
They bring back some. Got some young ones coming.
It's because a lot of seniors that graduated. This is some of them never really played football.
No,
and you see a big class. Sorry, you see a big class, but this may be their first or second year even playing football.
A lot of guys first.
Yeah,
some of them's first. I mean, the Johnson boy, done pretty well over there. But now, as far as I know, it was his first year to play. Yeah.
So some of that. So what we're saying is, we think that region's going to be I think it's going to be tighter next year.
Yeah.
Valley Head, Coach Hammond, I promise you, he's going to field a football team.
Well, and they got two of those running backs back.
I promise you, Coach Hammond's going to field. They're going to. Winston County Dean did take care of Decatur Heritage 14-7. I heard place that they scored late.
Decatur Heritage is usually pretty good
to seal that game. They scored late. Yeah, I know.
Cedar Bluff used to have some battles.
Baseball too. Man, we've battled them. Cedar Bluff has Reeltown. Had to do that with JB. Shout out to him. We're going to get him back on here. We was going to have him on last week, and something come up in the wedding, or I don't know, something he had to do, and he couldn't come on. They 53-0 over Central Coosa. Now, that Catholic team I was telling about, they beat Andalusia 38-0. Andalusia they were kicked around in 5A before Catholic has.
Yeah. Won state title 2 years ago.
Yeah. We've seen that team in person.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Quarterback, cornerback, wide receiver, tailback. They were good. They had a great team.
They didn't throw it much.
Well,
but that quarterback was good, and their receiver was good.
He could just roll out a little bit, just enough to get him out of pressure. And
I don't know. I'm just saying, had Cherokee County stuffed their running game, they could have just thrown it and been very successful. Just because they were that good, not because of Cherokee County defense.
No, they played them as good as they could.
Andalusia was just fantastic.
The offensive line, their tackles were 6'6", 310 guys.
Yeah, they were good.
So Catholic takes care of them. Moody did win again. Gunnersville got a big win. Leeds beat Pelham 35-28. And in 6A, number 1 Saraland won. Oxford had a big win again. Coach Horn.
I know. Won again. 9-0.
10-0.
Oh, are they 10-0?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just 9-0.
I did too. When I went back and looked, they're 10.
So they're open this week.
Yeah. This may be through the grapevine. And tell him how many good teams he's had, Dean.
Oh, my gosh. 32.
No joke, guys, for real. He's had, a dozen great teams with D1 athletes.
Well, my junior year, which was 89, we went down there and played them. They were fantastic. He was their coach.
He's gonna be close to 400 wins. He's done
380. Have you heard this was it for him?
I have no idea. Look, man.
How old is he?
He's got to be our parents' mom. 70. He's got to be.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
He wasn't he wasn't old, don't get me wrong, but he was in his 30s when we went down there in 88. He was in his 30s.
Yeah.
So that's been 35 years ago. He'd been there a little bit. So I'm figuring, yeah, he's at least 70.
He's got to be 70. Somebody y'all can tell us, Coach Short, if you're on, tell us how Coach Horn is. Shout out to him. And from what we've seen in interviews, and he don't do interviews really, Bo interviewed him back a few years ago, and he just kind of, and you asked me if he's going to retire, we have no clue. But from the way he talks,
Let's see what it is.
the way he talks, it's just, hey, I come down here and I like to cut the grass. And I love the kids and teaching them something they can carry on with them through life. And I just having a good time. So why? I mean, you know, why retire? He's like, he didn't say that, but he talked about cutting the grass. But I mean, like these old guys, man, y'all got to realize these Nick Saban type guys. I mean, I don't want to say their life is only football. They have kids and grandkids, probably great grandkids. But the God made some people just to coach football, and Coach Horn and Coach Benefield and Steve Smith. Those guys are.
They're just made.
And what's his name at UMS? Curtis.
Oh, Curtis. Yeah.
Those guys are just different.
Yeah, they're different animals.
You don't see them retiring and like, well, I'm packing it up. Well, how old are you? I'm 47. I've won 300 games. I'm done. No, they'll just find him up there in the press box one day, passed out. Well, he's gone now.
Yeah,
this is what they do.
Yes, that's what they'd be happy with that.
7-8 Hoover beat Vestavia Hills, big rival, 38-20. And our team we've been watching, Mary Montgomery did beat Davison by 10. Baker still rolling in 7A. Keep an eye on Baker, 34-14 over Fairhope. And that's just some of those.
3 and 4A. T.R. Miller, 43-0.
This 3A guys, this region.
T.R. Miller, Thomasville, and guys, I don't have to tell anybody around here that plays 3A ball in the North. I'm telling you, you're going to have your hands full with that South. My gosh, Gordo, Thomasville. Nobody's even played Thomasville close. T.R. Miller either, apparently. 43-0 over Bayside. Pleasant Grove, 3 touchdowns over Bibb. Hanley and Booker T, yes. 44-40. Wow. Big win for Hanley, really. I mean, 6-3 now.
Andrew, Powerhouse Sports, they'll be on sometime later. These are going a little later than that, 7-8. Mm-hmm. I think I seen them share. There was a late score that won that game.
Yeah.
It was kind of just
44-40.
Tick for tack.
Piedmont keeps rolling, stays undefeated, 54-20.
Wow.
Randolph County beats Beulah, 56-27. 5.
Wow.
Beats Geraldine, 42-7.
And Coach Smith, Mike Coach at Geraldine, they beat Coach 5 twice. This is not like so.
I don't know. 5 since the Coosa Christian game has completely turned it around, and the big game of the week, Weaver, who was 1-5 3 weeks ago, has beat Locust Fork. They nearly beat Piedmont, and they just beat Westbrook 37-34.
Yeah, we were across town there, and one of the guys I was with there, he was getting scores from over there too, and they were just kind of going back and forth a lot of the night.
What is going on with this team? Did they have players out, or did they just basically come together and said, "The heck with this"?
Y'all tell us, where's Coach Short at?
I mean, 1-5. Now they're 3-6, and they nearly beat Piedmont.
Calling Coach Short.
Closest game they've had of the year.
Well,
I'm not. No, somebody will say, "Well, no, Center played them closer." No, they didn't. 5-point game. Piedmont beat Weaver. Now, I agree that the Center game was closer because they had to score on the last play to beat Center, Cherokee County. But, Weaver.
They played them good.
You don't want to run up on Weaver right now.
Well, I don't. Sometimes it's a mix of, whatever. It's about matchups and, mid-season versus games at the first of the season and how play styles match up has a lot to do with how games are. Some teams throw, run, how, some teams stop the middle. Some teams are good at stopping the sweeps, Yeah.
I mean, but
well, and I think we said this last one. I think it was 2 years ago. Me and Mr. Holder at Media Day was talking about that somehow that come up because I had heard they had like 7 7th graders starting. And I was like, there's no way. And I watched them on NFHS, I remember that weekend or something.
And you knew it right then that there was
they're
some truth
small,
to that, wasn't it?
They're just couldn't keep up. Well, I guess 3 years later, those 7th, 8th graders are 10th and 11th graders.
Well, I don't know. Now they got to be the best 3-6 team in the state. I mean, they've got to be. I mean, they beat Westbrook, Locust Fork, and nearly beat Piedmont in 3 consecutive weeks after they're 1-5.
Yeah.
And that game was at Westbrook.
Yeah, the Westbrook. Yeah.
I mean, Westbrook's had a good season.
And Steve, we know Coach Smith at Westbrook. He's gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah, he will. They'll be fine.
Because I have to say,
they'll be fine.
Watching them play, they've improved since
he got there.
Well, just not that. Just even this year, I've seen them play 2 or 3 times. Video stuff, highlight stuff. They're playing more smooth. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. It takes time. He's a good coach.
Everybody
knows it. I mean,
he's a Hall of Fame guy.
I'm not going to come on here and say he's not a good coach and then get back to him and him say something to me in town. That's not going to happen.
No,
because he'd be like, huh? Why would he say that? Because that's foolishness. Everybody knows he's a good coach.
He's going to figure it out at Westbrook.
Yeah. So I'm not saying anything that hasn't been said before. He's a good one.
Oh yeah, he's a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I think I told somebody this the other day. All them other guys we mentioned too. Those are the type of guys you want on. Why don't we have some kind of committee in this state? NIL's coming. I want just when you listen to those guys talk, and there's got to be. I mean, like, Coach at Thompson, I like him. What's his name? Big guy.
I mentioned it the other day.
Yeah, I had to look it up. Him and there's no shot at nobody else, but those guys, and we got a lot of guys up here, and there's a lot of good coaches, and a lot of coaches live life like Coach Higgins at Mars Hill.
Yeah,
his life, he's like rode bulls and like sparred boxing, and I mean I would really enjoy Coach Benefield and Danny and Steve. There'd be some kind of committee to get ready for this NIL. That's what I'm saying, and I'm just throwing out some names, and there's 100 probably But those are names I mentioned are Hall of Fame coaches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see those. Those are the kind of guys you want to sit at a table. They're all retired whenever that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's
Robertson would be a good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring this in and talk about how we're going to, because money's going to come to high school football. I want those guys because they have the best interest of the kids at heart. You cannot coach football and not have the best interest of kids, or you wouldn't have done it for like Danny Horn for 40 years.
Yeah.
Coach Benefield been around and around. You're winning. You're talking about winning, 400, 500 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is a lot.
It's crazy. That's a lot of games. A win.
500, 400.
I think Steve said he's close to 350. I seen that there, 330 something. So anyway, those are. I'd like to see those guys on some kind of board. It's coming, guys. NIL's coming. For high school.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, congrats again to our Big Diamond player,
Alex Baty
of the week.
Sorry, Kane Robinson, Alex Baty. We talked to him on the show. I meant congratulate him on his.
No, gosh, man, state leader, and congrats to him, Cam Robinson. Congrats to you, and I'll be out there. I'll be out there one day this week.
Yeah, he's had a good year. And quickly, then we'll move on. Just updated from what we got the other night. Robinson, 808 yards. Diamond, 1,074. Beatty, 1,828. Woods, just not in order. Keyshawn, 654. Centel, 623. Tristan getting close to 500 now with his big game the other night. Now, Ashley has taken over the passing leader. And Griffin's close to 700 now.
That's crazy, honest.
And I tell you who's enjoying Griffin's quarterback heroics more than anybody would be Mr. Ben Frampton.
The Bens, Mosley and Frampton.
30 catches for 627 yards. Frampton's on pace to be 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah. And Noah and John throwing each other.
Yeah. Noah's still, he's got close to. He might go over 1,000 this week in passing, and Ashley may go over 1,000.
What about that?
I don't know when the last time we had it. Well, never mind. Yeah, I do. Cooper had 1,000 yards. 2 years. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm talking about Coach Austin, Coach Rat's son, Coop.
I was going to say, I don't remember a 1,000-yard receiver
Yeah.
in the county since we've been doing this, but I think
Coop. I know he did one year.
Yes, I know 100% he did.
Yeah, that was he was our player of the
He
year.
might have had 1,300.
Good boys, man.
Yeah.
Good kids. He's over there helping now.
Cooper is.
Yep. Giving back there. Like his dad, man, giving back. That's what they do. So that's all this to bring up to be brought to you by Mobley Concrete Construction. Call Jerry for a free estimate. Look them up on Facebook. You can see the jobs they do. They do great work. Little jobs, big jobs. 903-343-8581. Give them a call over there today. Also, over here in town, Cherokee Eye Clinic, JR and April McKenzie. Find them there at CherokeeEyeClinic.net. Look them up on Facebook too. Great staff. Seen Kristen, Chad's daughter, had a birthday today. Shout out, happy birthday to her.
Mm-hmm.
So all the girls are real sweet over there.
Oh yeah,
and
Kristen
Johnson,
yes.
Yeah. Her husband and his daddy, her mom and daddy-in-law, all good people there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, love bumping into them, man.
Yeah,
talking stuff. So Mark, let's see, he has something here. 5 ran totally different offense scheme than I've ever seen. So this is why you hit the subscribe button, people. They had all their offensive linemen spread out 2-3 yards apart. Direct snapping to Logan, totally different look than normal.
so he just completely adjusted.
That's why he's the GOAT, man. Coach B, bro. I mean, like who? I'll tell this story one more time, and we'll move on. Any coach that pays attention to detail so much, and the story I heard over there from him was just talking ball, to hide the stripe of the ball.
I'm looking at records.
I've just never heard of that. That's just the kind of, I'm making that case to you, how this guy thinks. It's out of, I don't know. I've never even heard of that. How you take the stripe and people's like, he's grounding the ball when they snap it. That's the fun.
No.
Trust me, he knows what he's doing. It's on purpose.
Right.
I had 2 people tell me one night up there at the game, he's rolling the ball on the ground. He's snapping it low on purpose. Trust me, he knows exactly what he's doing.
He's not rolling it on the ground.
No, they're snapping it low. It's on purpose. So you don't see the ball. You don't see where it's going. All you see is in red helmets about this high over top of the lineman, and you just see them cross over, and you don't know which one to get. You don't know who's got the ball.
And since you said ground, and I don't want to get into a football lesson, but I'm just going to say this, and I'm not being smart aleck or arrogant, but I've had 2 or 3 people say, why is a spike in the ground not intentional grounding? It's because you're not throwing it down because you're being rushed and fixing to be sacked. The whole idea for an intentional grounding is when somebody's fixing to get sacked and they just throw the ball.
Well, the difference is you're basically intentional ground is just an incomplete pass.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because you lose it down. Incomplete pass.
Yeah.
That's how it's marked. Because when you go on your record, if you're 11 for 11,
yeah,
you
spike
11
for 12.
You'd be 11 for 12.
But I've heard people say, why is them spiking the ball in the ground? That's not intentional grounding. You could have a bad incomplete pass.
Because you are in the tackle box,
but there's nobody rushing.
And it has to make the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you spike it on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what you're saying, but I don't know.
But
that's too deep.
Yeah, I mean, they're throwing grounding when, like, if I rush Matt right now and he just throws the ball up,
throw it over my head backwards.
Yeah, that's grounding because you avoided the sack by getting rid of the ball.
Yeah, no,
I'm assuming at one time you could just do that and get away with it.
Probably,
maybe. I'm talking about a long time.
Yeah, back in the 60s.
Somebody's like, "Oh, we got to do something about this."
Yeah,
because every time these guys get there to get sacked, they're just chunking it.
Well, illegal lineman down the field happened in 71 or 70, Alabama.
Yeah, they were blocking downfield.
Yeah, they send their linemen downfield, and it's like, okay, they're just crushing people with that. We can't allow that no more.
Yeah,
like Dan Lanning, they changed the rule. If you run 12 out,
he took advantage of it.
Yeah, and well, that's just smart.
Which I don't think you should ever benefit from a defensive penalty.
He's just being smart.
Yeah, he was. I mean, you don't need to apologize for it, but they changed it to next week. All right, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, that's congrats, Cam Robinson, and I'll be out there one day this week. Get you a shirt. Big Diamond Player of the Week, and come back and hang out with us. And We'll talk some college football here. Alabama dominates, plays real tight football. Ohio State has rushed for about 150 yards in 2 games.
2 games.
Junkins is, I don't know what's going on.
29, 25.
Penn State makes it a game, and Texas gets to scare their life.
Yeah, definitely.
So y'all hang on. We'll be right back. All right. No, it's fine. All right. What's going on, everybody? Okay. We'll get in here to the nitty gritty dirt band part of it.
College football. Pretty good day.
Yeah. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us. Hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up on the Facebook page and Twitter people. Make sure you follow me over there for updates and all that kind of good stuff. We will surely appreciate it. Trying to grow the page. Help us hit 1,000. Piece to get in here in the good part of the season. SEC, who's the king of the SEC right now? I mean, sort of. It's A&M.
A&M. I mean, right now.
I mean, Georgia's ranked 2 in the nation. We go by.
With A&M winning the SEC, lost the ball game.
Yeah.
Now LSU just lost 1. Georgia just lost 1.
Yes.
Ole Miss has 2, right? Yes, 2.
Yes.
Alabama 2.
Yeah. It's kind of a tight season. I mean, tell us what are you feeling about how the season's gone? I'm not talking about how we pick games here or there or what
It's
we've
been
done.
kind of a surprise. I mean, Texas A&M's been a surprise. Vandy's been a surprise. We thought LSU was in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Missouri's had some injuries. That's hurt them some. They're not. Kentucky, they've had injuries. I'm not taking nothing away from Auburn beating them or whoever's beating Kentucky. But they have had some injuries. South Carolina's better than we thought. I don't think Oklahoma's as good as we thought, right?
Well, I had a lot of questions about their line.
Auburn's probably not as good as we thought, but that was good. If they keep going to Hunter, who knows? They may finish up all right. Florida's probably a little better than we thought. He's probably right about Georgia and Alabama, just to be honest.
Yeah, we had more. Turn the phone off.
What is happening?
I don't know. The computer won't load. It's shutting pages down, and my phone just
They
does.
said the music was good.
Oh, that's what it is. Sorry.
I think it's read this.
All right. Thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with us here. Show number 258. We're glad y'all decided to make us part of your day. We're going to talk a little college football now. And who's the king of the SEC? A&M is racking along pretty good right now. LSU decided to lay down. Auburn gets their first win. Vandy put a scare into Texas, but Georgia's the highest ranked SEC team.
Georgia's the highest ranked.
So again, we'll go back through this, kind of start over this season and kind of how it's been. How are you feeling about them right now? About the SEC or just?
Well, I mean, I think it's probably the best conference again.
Kind of what we expected.
I think the Big Ten's a little better this year. Not than the SEC. I just think they're good as a whole. Maybe Ohio State, Penn State. Looks like Minnesota's pretty good. Nebraska nearly beats Ohio State, but I still think the SEC is the best conference. But yeah, A&M, we've been right on a few. We've been wrong on some. I think we picked Auburn to be and Kentucky to be a little better. South Carolina's they've been better than we thought. We're probably right on Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Texas. We all thought, not just us, most people thought those 4 would be good, but I did not see this coming with A&M.
Well, you got to remember.
Did not see it coming.
State and Blair with Bama, like you was talking about, we picked Bama to lose 3 games.
2-3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
9-3, 10-2.
2 probably, but it's possible they could lose 3 games.
I think we had them at 9.5.
So we got to remember, guys, let's what's confusing me, this is what's really confused me, Dean. The people that say like us that picked them to lose a couple of games, why are they freaking out now?
When you already picked it.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
I've noticed that my whole life. I've been, around people. How do you think y'all be this year? We lost a lot. We'll be lucky to go 500. Then when it happens, they can't handle it. Or they're really upset over it. I'm like, dude, you knew this was coming.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I don't think it. Alabama's still in the hunt. They've got Auburn's always a tough game. They still got Oklahoma. They still got LSU, obviously, down there. I think if they win out, they have a good shot at the playoff, maybe. Because Vanderbilt's going to have a good record, I think.
Well, this is fixing to get bad.
That will help Alabama. The more Vanderbilt wins, the more it's going to help Alabama.
It's fixing to get hard for.
And I'm just going to tell you now,
for Vanderbilt,
it's not being an anti-Auburn fan, but you better, if you're an Alabama fan, you better pull for Vanderbilt the rest of the year. That's against Auburn or whoever.
Yeah. Kentucky,
which they've already beat Kentucky, but they nearly beat Texas yesterday, but they don't give you points for nearly beating somebody, do they?
No, that's only in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Yeah. Which I think it ought to count a little bit. Look, hey, this Vanderbilt might not be too bad. But, wow, Vandy.
Well,
7 and didn't even gain 300 yards. They just hang around and do well.
Yeah, 269 on the day, and it kind of went the way of we had. Vandy played them good. We'll talk about this one. 394 total yards for Texas. A real big scare for them on the evening. Gosh, man,
Well, Ewers ended up having a pretty good.
Well,
day,
but it looked like Texas was going to run away with it there for a little bit, and I went away from it, and I was going back to maybe I was going to watch some of the Auburn game, or maybe I'd got into Colorado. I watched them play some too.
Yeah.
And I went back, and then or maybe Sylvia she's seen some scores on her phone, and she says Vanderbilt kicked a field goal or
yeah.
And it's like, hey, it's
7-17.
Well, I thought they was going to score again. I thought Texas going to. Well, obviously they stopped them, and then she's like, no, it's 24-20. I said, oh crap, I
know Vanderbilt.
Let me get back over there.
Really had a good year. I mean, they have, and
I'm sharing this picture.
Oh yes,
that's what I'm doing. People wonder when we're on our phone.
I just think the better Vanderbilt does, the better it's going to fare for. I think we can go on and quit hearing the Vandy beat Alabama stuff. Vandy's they're not trash.
No.
They've already beat Kentucky, Alabama, Virginia Tech. They nearly beat Texas. There was somebody else they nearly beat Missouri. So, and this was in Texas too, right? No, it was at Vanderbilt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was at Vandy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's on there. I'll put it on.
What do you think about this A&M team? Wow.
I was going to tell you about Texas. This is what was surprising.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's just something that's Texas they had 10 flags, and they rushed the ball the same amount of times that Vandy did.
Mm-hmm.
So, if Vandy's keeping up with them rushing the ball, and minute-wise, Texas had the ball longer.
Right.
But with the flags, 10 penalties, which is if you get 10 penalties, that's usually going to put you between usually a 75 to 100-yard penalties for the night.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Nobody gets 10 penalties for 38 yards.
Yeah, I didn't see the next one. But, if it's just 5 apiece, that's 50.
Right.
And I know there's more than just all 5-yarders. So that,
I was kind of impressed with them.
The time is what I wanted to. That's what I was kind of excited to see. How well they took care of the ball, which they did. And yours had a good game. He threw for nearly 300, had 288 yards passing. So, but
there's people calling for Maine to be their quarterback again. So Ewers just kind of. He's got to win his job back again. I think he did that yesterday. I was just surprised at it being so close with the discrepancy of yards, 394 to 269.
I am too. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I just think Vandy's got a good team this
year. It's just different. We're just going to see parity, and I know that's the word, and some other people like the word watered down. And
I wouldn't call it watered down.
How do
you call it watered down? Do you agree with watered down? I don't know. What is the term? What is the definition of watered down?
I guess to define it, it would be more than lines to say something like, we're not seeing quarterbacks blow our faces off or tailbacks like leading rusher in SEC.
It's Sampson, isn't it? From Tennessee?
No, it's Hunter.
After yesterday.
Yeah. So, but and I'm not saying he's not a good back. He had, I'd have to be sure, but how many yards did he have against New Mexico and Alabama A&M? See what I'm saying?
Not nothing like that.
So.
Then he rushes for 278 against a good defense.
Yeah. But I think what it is, you get these numbers, which is not even close to what Jitney at Boise State's rushed for. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And they're saying, well, he ain't played who's he? Their strength schedule is not very good. Well, that's true.
But it never is.
But,
it's not going to be.
But if you're like, if Saraland plays Galesville, you would assume it would be really bad real quick.
Right.
Well, Jentney rushing the ball, they said, well, he ain't played nobody. Well, if he's running for 300-400 yards a game, he's pretty good.
Yes.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if he struggles with like you don't do real good, so.
Well, like Hunter.
I'm trying to see where is he, like.
Well, like Hunter's best games have came in against the toughest opponents.
Like, yeah, I want to see how did he do against Arkansas or how did he do against Oklahoma. And they didn't run him a lot. They run him a lot.
They ran him a lot yesterday.
Saturday.
We always thought he was the best back.
Yeah, well, you got to run the ball.
In the SEC.
You got to hand it off and play defense. And what that creates is this watered down thing. I'm saying is nobody's just wow.
Right.
And that's because one school can't pile up a group of kids.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
That's why they're saying
you got like Texas defense
down.
Is the greatest that's ever been assembled, and then Georgia, they don't kill them, but they didn't have any trouble moving the ball.
Well, Vandy had 300 yards on them.
Georgia's defense is fantastic. Alabama cut through them like a knife in the first half.
And Vandy closed Texas's running game down to right at 100 yards.
Yeah.
What?
Vanderbilt? And Alabama's defense is great, and Vandy goes out and gains 420. I mean, it's just – I understand what you're saying. It's like everybody's even.
Yeah. And that's it is what it is.
So you don't really know.
Who's really good?
You really don't know who's good.
So who's the king? And it's some people, I heard somebody say a while ago, well –
I do think Hunter's a good back.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I ain't taking it away from him.
But
you don't want to – I was going to move this. Let me put.
You got it, but they got Vandy this week. I mean, yeah. I mean, they may hold him to 35 yards. It wouldn't shock me. He may go for 250. I don't know.
We'll go to that one when we go to next week's games. I'm curious about how that.
No, Vanderbilt. Yeah,
Vanderbilt and Auburn. Yeah,
they play Saturday.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Penn State, Wisconsin. We can move through that one. Laird goes out. Gets hurt.
That did not help them.
Somehow they did figure out how to win the game, but that Primable, he's 11 for 13, threw for 100 yards and touchdown. They had 420 yards.
Yeah, 11 for 13. Wow.
That's a good number. I mean,
yeah. And Aller was like 14 for 18.
Yeah. Who is this guy?
I don't know.
PRI.
He's not played any because of Aller's had such a good year.
Well, he threw for 150 before he went out and touchdown.
Before he went out.
Pribula. Pribula. Where is these people from? Why do I get one?
Yeah, I get a name and it's Smith or Jones. Matt gets one. It's Primabula.
Primabula La Charité, the U. Where are these people from?
I don't know.
I don't know. Does anybody know? Is there a Primabula watching the show right now? Please stand up. Mr. Primabula, please stand up. Mr. Primabula, please stand up.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
Primabula. Let's see.
Well, Penn State wins in a close game, 28-13. Nobody really dominated anybody this weekend. I mean, nobody really, except Bama, really.
Yeah, and and I know people's going to say it, and
their quarterback
they had some players out, but I do think Alabama would have beat Missouri anyway. I'll just go on.
Well, I thought, they were, yeah.
Might have been 34-14 if they'd been.
Noel may have run for more yards if they could have run the ball, but
somebody got the ball burden. I'm saying 30. Nobody was out on their defense that I know of. 34-14. Okay.
So, I mean, all these games are close. Penn State, 28-13 or Wisconsin. Tell us about Matt Rule in Nebraska. They come out so flat. Ohio State,
third game 300.
Third quarter, nothing.
Nothing.
Nebraska scores in the third and makes it a game.
Mm-hmm.
When I went back over there, but Ohio State, the clock runs out in third quarter and they ain't scored. I'm thinking they're going to lose this game. What is wrong with Ohio State,
I don't
Jeff?
understand. They rushed for 64 yards.
They're supposed to have the biggest bought and paid for, just smoking. Dude, they got the number one cornerback. They got the number one tailback. They got a good quarterback. They got a good 2 top first-round wide receivers.
Maybe 3. They're saying that their third one's great. That Tate. I know Smith and the Egbuka are.
And then that linebacker they got is supposed to be Joey Bosa the third. Like, what is going on at Ohio?
I don't know.
Why are they flat? How many yards did they rush for in 2 weeks? It's like, I swear to God.
64 yesterday.
See, I think it's like 100. It's bad.
And they did okay against Oregon. I mean, running the ball, but it wasn't nothing. It wasn't anything just boom out of this world. Did they have line troubles? I mean, seriously, do they have line troubles? Because they just don't look good to me right now.
Well, Junkins had 10 carries for 30. Henderson had 25 yards. Howard was 220 with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He was 13 for 16. That's a good day at the office. 220, 13 for 16, and a touchdown.
Yeah, that is a good day.
It's a good day at the office.
But only threw 16 times.
But you tailbacks, I mean, they run the ball about, 30-something times.
But here's what puzzles me. Nebraska stuffs them, but can't even sniff Indiana.
See, I don't understand.
I just don't
that's what I'm saying.
Football this year.
I know it's totally,
56-7. Indiana beat them 56. And I guarantee you Indiana would not even beat Ohio State. I don't know what's going on with football. It's crazy.
Who's the coach in Indiana?
Cignetti. Kurt Cignetti. They're undefeated.
Which was with Saban in 07, 8, 9.
He was? I didn't know that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was on that champion title team.
Okay. I did not know that.
He's brought a lot of he give a lot of credit like on game day,
mm-hmm.
And of course Nick's up there in the cheer, and he give a lot of credit to him. And through the week they've interviewed him a few times, and he just give credit to Nick for believing in him,
mm-hmm.
and he's took a lot of Saban's obviously, with him to Indiana. He's like you can hear things he says, and his talking is
mm-hmm.
Saban-esque.
Right.
Yeah, Saban really likes the guy. Really believes that he's kind of no nonsense. He don't really care for a bunch of crap.
No.
You have to watch some of it. Y'all go watch some of his.
They've got layups.
Some of his interviews.
Indiana football. They got a good chance to. I mean, they're rolling. They beat Washington 31-17.
Well, which is not nothing to smoke home about. I mean,
no, Washington lost most of their players,
coaches, and everybody.
Let's see who Indiana's got left on their schedule.
So Texas scrapes by. Nebraska barely wins. Penn State holds on against Whiskey. How does Utah lose to Houston? 14-17. So they're just done.
Okay, Indiana and Ohio State match up on the 23rd.
Oh, that may be good.
They got Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, and obviously they finish with Purdue, which is an in-state rivalry. I think they go 10-2 at worst.
They go in the bowl game.
Oh yeah,
I mean we already know that.
8-0, best team they've ever had so far.
Well, they've always been
since we've been watching, best team.
Well, that's the best ever. When they ever had a football team?
I never have a good one.
Basketball.
Yeah,
I mean Bird played it. Well, he played Indiana State. Right.
He went there for a little bit, but didn't like Bobby Knight. That's what I heard.
Now, gosh, he was a tough one.
He wasn't playing for no crap like that. I mean, you can get on to him, but good gosh, he wasn't putting up with that crap.
So I was surprised by Houston and Utah score. I had to mention that. It's just something I had to run by.
Utah has not been my sleeper this year.
Well, I guess Cam's coming back for his 8th year.
What about Notre Dame?
Well, that's kind of what it's Navy. I mean, when's the last time Navy's even beat Notre Dame? It's been a while.
Yeah.
7-8 years, I think.
They killed them 51-14.
Wasn't surprising.
Oregon over Illinois. Did that surprise you?
No, I didn't even watch any of that. That's just boring. Some of the games were, but
38-9.
Probably 8 out of 10 games were good.
Most of them. Miami, FSU, I'm sure that didn't shock you.
I think I accidentally clicked on it by accident.
Ole Miss and Okie. Was that Dart threw for 311? Harris didn't play.
I did watch some of that.
Was Oklahoma ever?
They were better. They look pretty good to me for a while.
Their guy didn't play. Arnold was back.
Yes. I thought Oklahoma seemed to.
I
know they lost, but they put some drives together.
Okay.
They did, and Kiffin, I don't know. He's.
They didn't have a lot of yards.
He's doing drugs, or I don't know what's wrong with him.
But it wasn't.
It's 4th and whatever. 1 down on the 3 or 4 again, 4th and 2 or whatever. He went for it, got crushed. That's 2 weeks in a row. And I texted somebody and said that cost him a game against Kentucky.
So why is he just not kicking the field goal?
No idea. I mean, the 3 is like it's right
it's
there.
A 20-yard field goal.
Yeah. I mean, the end zone's 10 yards. I mean, you're at the 3. That's 13. Well, then the 5. Yeah. I mean, he's just, I don't know what's going on. He's got on this happy with his data sheet says go for,
right. Go for it. 4th and 1.
I hope the data sheet's got a list
how many
for
yards they had yesterday.
Got a list for job openings for him. It's just stupid, man. That's the kind of crap. That kind of stuff that's what gets you fired. That kind of antics.
Well, what if they'd lost?
I know, and that's part of some reasons why Jimbo's not at A&M anymore.
Well, let me tell you something, and not taking nothing away. I think total team stats
14.
They had 380.
I think Roswell beat them.
380, which is,
if you beat Gainesville, you're probably pretty good, I guess. I think they did beat them.
Yeah, you are. Gainesville and Moody played, which Gainesville won. No shame in that.
I think Roswell beat Gainesville. I think I've seen that score. So Lane, I don't know, man. He's playing with fire to me. But as long as he's winning, I'm sure 9 games or 8, they're probably not going to run him off.
I wouldn't think. He's won.
They're
8, 10, 11. He's won 18. He's won 25 games in the last 3 years.
So. They're a solid mid program in the conference. Which I don't know who's not mid really. I guess the number 1 teams in the conference are who? A&M and Georgia.
It's not LSU right now. It was.
Well, I mean, they're behind, but I mean they've only got 1 conference loss. They're ahead of. They're in there with Georgia. I mean, they're ahead of Bama.
They're tied for 2nd. Right. Tennessee's got 1.
Yeah, lost to Arkansas.
So they're all tied.
How do you lose to Arkansas but beat Bama?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. What is going on?
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So here was my game of the week. I watched this one. I watched Bama game closely. Auburn and Kentucky, 500 yards of offense. The freeze trains come sliding in on the rails hot as he didn't show up Friday because he said he was sick. Didn't ride up with the team, but shows up Saturday morning and comes out there and called a good game, I thought, pretty well.
He didn't go with
Thorne didn't turn the ball over but once, which has been a nagging.
They didn't try to throw it all the time.
Sore toe for him. And when he threw it, the pick, when he throws a pick, not all the time. I have seen like 2 times it'd be flipped up in there, and you can't do nothing about that. He didn't run in the gut with it. You just throw it right to the defender. Boom. Stuff like that. And you just absolutely didn't see him. I seen Nussmeier did it last night several times.
Yeah, Nussmeier.
We'll go and
struggled a little bit late.
We can break that one in even more too.
He still had 400 yards.
But 20 for 26, had a good grade out. Vandergrift threw for 120 yards. They didn't rush for about 70. Kentucky didn't. That's the problem with them this year.
Their offense.
Yeah, they can't run the ball.
No, and the back from Ohio State got hurt. He's not getting to play any. And their back that took his place is hurt now. The one had a name that was very hard to pronounce. He's not there right now. And Vandergrift,
they can't run the ball.
Has Vandergrift been a disappointment? I mean, I know he's played hard. Maybe he's a good quarterback, but is he not as dynamic as you thought?
Yeah,
or that people thought.
I'm a little let down because I was a huge fan. You can ask Burge. When Burge would come on, I would like, please send him to Alabama. This is when Milroe was backing up Bryce, and we hadn't seen Milroe play. Right. I was just jonesing for a good quarterback because I watched him in high school. That's what sold me on him. Seeing him play high school over there at Prince Avenue. God, man, I mean, his numbers are good. I liked how he moves. I like his feet work, the way he holds the ball up. He has a good delivery. I just liked how he played, and he's just not having a lot of luck. But
it might not be his fault. I don't.
He's not a. Let me say he's not Johnny Manziel, or I don't even think he's Nussmeier. I know Nussmeier didn't play a great game, but Vandergrift can go win you some games, but he needs a tailback to compliment him.
Right.
Greg McElroy, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And now Greg McElroy is a champion. I don't mean to. I'm not throwing shade. Trust me, at Greg McElroy.
I don't think Vandergrift's bad,
but I'm just trying to give an idea of where I am with Vandergrift. He needs a complimentary
so you're
guy.
saying he would be better if they had a better run game.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to run the ball, they're just going.
Yeah,
they're just going to play cover.
I just noticed he has low numbers throwing the ball.
Yeah, and you can just do what? You can rush 3 or 4.
See, I don't know if people know this. He's been their quarterback all year. He averages 154 yards passing a game.
They're playing 0 on defense, like cover 0.
Which is the lowest total in the SEC for a starter.
You could play so many different kinds of defensively against him because he's not going to take off with it. More than likely, he's not even Peyton Thorne, and Peyton can run the ball something.
He can.
He can't. He hurt Bama with it last year.
Yeah, bad.
So
very bad.
Kentucky just didn't play a good game, and
Auburn did.
Auburn did play a good game.
Now at the start, Kentucky played real well.
Yeah.
And once Auburn adjusted.
Well, I think for some of your defensive guys, Masua Jr., the transfer guy, come in from Duke for Auburn, and then of course Smith, Sylvester, we watched play out here.
One from Mumford?
Yeah.
He had a good game.
He's just a good athlete. Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 tackles. And then the Thompson kid on defense for Auburn.
Their kicks back too.
He had a good game. They had several guys with 4 tackles. Now, Mousa Jr., which I'm pretty sure he's Hawaiian, he had 10. He had 2 for a loss. So you seen, I heard McLeod's name called a couple of times. Auburn's interior defensive guys played well against Kentucky.
Right.
They did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
328 yards rushing, 278. It was Hunter's. He had 2 touchdowns. He had a 50 long, so that gives him 228 on the day. 228 on the day, and he busted the 50, so it gave him 278. Lambert Smith had 4 catches for 53. And Cam Coleman had 9 catches for 24 yards. I don't know what's wrong with him. I think I've already said what I think.
He's kind of come. They're throwing to him more, aren't they?
I think he's just
a 47-yarder against Missouri.
Cam is just so Julio built style. He looks like a Julio, big. He can go up and get the ball. Probably catches them better when you throw him over his head. Remember, if you throw it right at Julio, Greg would, and he'd drop some of them. You could be mad at him, remember? But if you throw it over his head, he'd jump backwards. You're like, how? What? He's like a cat.
Yeah.
I think Cam was so big and physical in high school. I think that he could just dominate people physically because he's just bigger and stronger than high school kids.
Right.
Now you're in college where guys can get up on you, and you can't just break loose and get up the sideline and make a big play. And he's learning how to play, and he's learning the playbooks. It's a different game, college, and it's just different. So I congrats Auburn for getting their first SEC win.
Yeah,
on the road. And I felt like they could win. I said last week I didn't want to pick them because they just hadn't showed me that they don't know how to win. They don't know how to win. Well, this gives them a lot of momentum.
It does.
Going into the week, they're going to be at home, back home. They're going to play Vanderbilt, which is a tricky, weird offense. So here's the question. Can Auburn get back down to earth after winning their first conference win? Here we are like week 10. And get back down to earth, get refocused, and play one of the most dangerous offensive in the SEC.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Oh, definitely.
It's dangerous.
It may not have yard-wise, but it's still dangerous because they keep the ball the whole game.
I didn't say it was the best. I don't know who would be A&M?
Ole Miss.
LSU?
LSU.
Yardage-wise, it's Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Yeah.
But, I mean, watching and preparing.
Just as far as balance.
For Vanderbilt.
I don't know.
They just put up, 270 against Texas.
I'd say they're the hardest team to get ready, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
So that's my thoughts on the Auburn-Kentucky game, and we'll see how they play against Vanderbilt. I'm gonna go with Auburn being at home.
Yeah, I will.
I think they can. I think they can take care of them.
I think they will. I think it'll be a good game.
Yes, I do too.
You're
you talking about Bama?
Big Bama,
Alabama.
Well,
and Mizzou.
Flat as a pancake there for a while, and then the interception.
Was it 3-0? Like for
it was
a quarter?
6-0 forever.
I mean, the whole first quarter was like 3-0.
Then Malachi Moore had that interception.
Yeah.
And that helped. He had a good return. And then Milroe finally, which he played good. He threw for 215, had 50 rushing. He hit Law on a deep ball down to about the 3. And after that, it was just pretty much game on. Good balance, 486 yards. Missouri only gained 240, intercepted 3 passes. Hubbard, man, he's playing good.
Yeah.
He is playing good.
We talked about him a little bit in the summer.
And, of course, Malachi Moore and Damani Jackson had interceptions. You know, the leading tackler, same one it always is, Campbell or Lawson.
Yeah. Shout out Overton, 22. Shout out to him. Big Dog showed up and was ready to eat. He had, I guarantee you, I didn't even look. He had at least 4 tackles for a loss.
Oh, yeah, he had a good game.
Overton,
Yeah.
Dog. He's eating up there on the front.
Yeah, and he's had some good games this year. We
Yeah.
hadn't heard much out of him in the last few, but
No, it seems like when he plays well up
they
front
play well.
and they run the ball,
I thought
ain't
they
it amazing how the teams that run the ball the most win the
usually
game?
win.
Why? You know why? Because it stops the clock. I mean, I'm sorry. It lets the clock running. But
It probably demoralizes the other team.
But
too.
what it also, on the backside of that, is it keeps the clock running. But that's why the teams that play defense and run the ball win. But you have to play that other part I just said, play defense. Because if you're going to run the ball and run the clock, but if your defense is out there for 12, 15, 16 plays a gash, you don't need the clock to run. You're trying to stop in them sections to get time to get a play, so they throw the ball. So that's just football.
Well, they spread it around good. Haynes,
Man, he
79.
did. He threw to like everybody.
Yeah.
I think he was like the Oprah Winfrey show. You get one, you get a catch, you get it. Some of them had 1, some of them had 2.
Of course, you know who he threw to the most, Bernard.
And
Williams.
Jeremy
Jeremy
and Williams.
Williams. They caught 9 for 135 between them. Miller rushes for 48. Haynes, 79. Milroe, 50. Richard Young.
Yeah, Young had a shout out to him. He
63.
Young had a big catch.
And
he scored, didn't he?
4 guys over 48 yards.
I think Richard caught a touchdown.
You want to hear a funny story? Apparently, there was a wrestler named Ricky Ortiz back in the 80s, but his real name was Richard Young. So in the stat column, guess who they got having 63 yards on 3 carries? On ESPN or on the stats, guess who they've got? Richard Young, Ricky Ortiz.
Oh, no.
So I click on it, and it says Ricky Ortiz, named Richard Young, 50 years old, former wrestler. I'm like, how in the world did that happen? That's not him. That's not a 50-year-old didn't gain 3 carries for 63 yards.
He's a freshman too, ain't he?
So they tapped in Richard Young, apparently on the computer, put it in the system, and this Ricky Ortiz comes up. And Ricky Ortiz rushed for 63 yards for Bama yesterday. And it wasn't Ricky Ortiz, guys. It was Richard Young.
They moved him from tailback to receiver.
Ortiz?
No, Young.
I mean, Young. Young.
Who's this guy?
Ricky Ortiz.
Yeah, they moved him.
Okay.
So overall, I guess
I think it was a good game. It was a good show. And like I said,
it's homecoming. They needed to win.
Noel didn't play. I know that. Now, he tried to play. Cook threw 12 passes.
Yeah. Bama's defense was relentless. They run
were
him.
Pretty tough. He completed 7 for 30 yards. That means that's 4 yards a catch.
They run him all over the field. He had a hard day.
Yeah. I think at best you get a healthy Cook, healthy Burden, healthy Noel. I still think Alabama wins this because they look more together. Rushed for 271. Good balance. Williams and Bernard had good days. Campbell, Lawson, Hubbard.
I like the fire out of my man that I grind, your left guard, Booker. I grind on him a lot.
He did good yesterday.
Yeah, he had a good day. And when now I'll drown him when he has a bad day and he don't move his feet, and I'm gonna get on him. But he had a good day. I hadn't seen his grade out yet, but I'm sure it's pretty good. Remember, he's the one who got his helmet pulled off about third play of the game. Remember that?
Yes.
And he plays fiery, and he holds the other guys accountable on the line. And our center, Browsford, I thought he had a good day. This is who I watch. And Proctor, thank God he come back.
He's good, isn't he?
He didn't give up but one sack. That
Yeah,
one he got
American.
blindsided.
Yeah.
He got hit from the back.
Yeah.
He almost got the ball swat. I was saying Milroe did. Proctor give up one, but it's like one in this year. I don't think he's been hitting his back all year.
No, he's not.
The right side's bad.
He's had a good year.
Pritchett, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Pritchett. I don't know if he's having family problems or this is some kind of medical emergency.
Might not can get the plays down.
Could
possibly.
Head and rear end medical emergency. I don't know what's going on. I don't get it because he's physically a monster.
Right.
I'm not sure what the right tackle's got going on there. And then I don't know. I watch him a lot. He had hand surgery back early. First game, when we was playing South Florida, and the guy, the big white guy, was getting run by, and they put him in late, and it stopped it.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought, well, they plugged off the bleeding, and Milroe has, which just sounds stupid, and this is going to sound dumb. He learned in this game how to step up in the pocket.
Right.
And that's something a senior quarterback, a senior style, he's played a lot of football, playoff football. Why do you not know about stepping up in the pocket?
Yeah.
These other games, he gets pressured and he wants to burn out to the right. He wants to roll out of that pocket.
Yeah, he likes getting out.
And our right side is the worst side.
Mm-hmm.
So usually all these sacks, a lot of them's on him.
Yeah.
Step up in the pocket and run.
Yeah.
And that's what he did a lot more. Now, he didn't get but 4, 5, 6 yards. Sometimes he got 10 or 20.
He had some good runs.
That's his game. And we heard him say last year, somebody kind of drowned him a little bit, kind of dogged him a little bit, like, here's his style, and this is blah, blah, blah. And, you're a running quarterback. And he said, I'm a passing quarterback. Stop, Jalen. Don't do that because you're not. That's not your thing.
Yeah.
Can you throw it? Yes.
And he's got about 400 yards rushing this year. He may finish with 600 or 700.
That's check one, dump. It's not there. It's okay when you got a clean pocket. God, man, he can just get out in space and cause people trouble.
Uh-huh.
That is how you beat LSU. If he sits back there in the pocket, and we'll pick that game next week.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's going to just stand back here and throw it. That old Meeks boy linebacker at LSU, Right. Their corners, they have some juniors and seniors. They're pretty good. Now, we've seen A&M expose them, but who really got exposed at times was LSU's defensive line.
That's who it was. I mean, I'm not,
but
that's just who it was.
So Milroe,
because the quarterback.
Just be yourself against LSU. That's what I'm getting at with this game. It seemed like he played more like himself in this game. He looked comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes, guys, we just don't know what's going on mentally with people.
No.
Family, girlfriend, mama sick. Daddy's, grandpa's in the hospital. I don't know.
It was still a good showing, and they needed that because
it's homecoming.
Second half for Georgia didn't go well. They ended up.
It's kind of been on a skid since then.
Yeah. Then you had the South Carolina game. Then you had Vanderbilt. Then you had Tennessee. And now this. You had 4 games in a row or 3.5 there that just hadn't gone well. And this was needed.
Overall grade, I'd say a B+.
I'd say a B. Yeah.
Last week I give them a B-. Mm-hmm. They did get the win. They beat South Carolina. But watching South Carolina play, they're not too bad.
No, they're not.
There's like a top 8 or 10. I'm gonna say 10.
Uh-huh.
Probably 8 of the 10 has really separated themselves. I think Bama and LSU lead the middle, the good heavy middle of the SEC.
South Carolina's not bad.
No,
they're not.
I think they're right there with Vanderbilt.
Right. No, I would agree with that.
Winning wise, and I'm not talking about styles, guys. Please understand what I'm saying.
And Arkansas hammered Mississippi State yesterday, but
now they're poor Mississippi State.
I think it's going to be some time.
They're bottom, okay,
Yeah.
And coach will be okay. They're going to get some guys in. They got to figure out get them a quarterback, and they got to have an offensive line. And they lost their coach, and they got some new coaches. And Auburn gets a win, and they get out of the basement.
They did.
Y'all were climbing up the stairs. Y'all were coming out of the basement. You're coming up the stairs.
Now Kentucky's going down the stairs.
Now, if you beat Vanderbilt, you get to come into the kitchen.
Yeah.
You still can't get a drink. And Auburn's, y'all are still drinking the little plastic cups with the foil
I'll
caps.
say they'll still be 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They still got the cups with the foil tops.
Mm-hmm.
You're downstairs with the key table, but you got to come upstairs. We're going to let you come upstairs now.
Right.
And Vanderbilt's up there.
They're in the
They're
middle
there
of
at the
pack
party.
right now.
Or they ain't getting. They're not getting cake. They've got chips and dip. I'm trying to compare this to a party.
Right.
Now, Georgia is up there singing karaoke.
Yeah.
So is A&M. They're A&M's waiting on their next turn.
A&M's just they can do whatever they want. They got shrimp at the party, don't they?
They brought shrimp. They got the cocktail sauce.
Prime rib.
I don't know. They ain't got that far yet.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Well, LSU A&M game. And then we'll kind of look at next week and we'll get out of here. The quarter, that's the second team guy. What was his name? A&M.
Reed Marcel. Wow.
They didn't plan for him to come in.
He played a quarter and a half, scored 3 touchdowns, had 130 yards. They went on a 31-6 run with him in there. 31-6. Now one of them was set up by an interception.
1-6.
Yeah, from the time he came in, 31-6.
There's no film on him, so Coach BK is squatted down on the sidelines like this. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you tell you. Defense coach up in the box. He's just going. I don't even know. I mean, they have to know what kind of a system, a style, what kind of plan of a defensive scheme to get in because they've coached against running quarterbacks.
Right. No, I'm sure they had an idea. They just couldn't handle it.
Looked lost. Had no answer. Nussmeier threw a pick to that guy when he tried to throw it running back screen. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Threw it right to him.
Yeah.
The defensive end, that 5'11", whoever that guy was, I forgot his name.
He's a stud.
Hey, Kentucky's
one across his body.
I'll mention him too.
They panicked a little bit.
They did. I'll mention him too. The kid that went out at Kentucky, Auburn got lucky. They caught a break. Their leading pass rusher went out.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
You got a Pierce or like the guy from South Carolina that goes out. You're talking about the Walker. That's a good guy that's going in the first round for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Probably helps you out a good bit.
Yeah.
When your quarterback can stand back here and make sandwiches.
Yeah.
And so, but LSU looked confident, but that one play, I knew it was going to happen. I tell you this, when me and you watch games, I just feel you can see a play and you're like,
just turn it around.
They're done. They had their backs down to A&M's goal, and it is freaking loud in there. You can tell they're struggling. It was like 3rd and 13. It was 2nd and 10, and it seemed like they run the ball, lost 3. They'd had an incomplete pass first play. It's 3rd and 13, I think. And the camera shot goes across like you're a linebacker at LSU for A&M looking at Nussmeier. And he's just looking, and he just looked befuzzled. And they're not
bewildered.
Yeah, if they really wasn't behind, really.
Right.
I don't know, man. And that freaking Lacey.
Probably didn't. That Karen Lacey's pretty good.
He is a beast.
Yeah, you talking about the receiver for LSU?
Man, he is a football player.
Yeah, he's good.
He is really good. He's going to make a lot of money one day.
He's the one that caught the game-winning pass against Ole Miss.
They had him covered up. 2 or 3 of those catches he made. There ain't no way he could have caught that ball. And he found a way to catch the ball.
Well, LSU's having trouble running the ball.
I know.
They're having trouble, and that could be hurting them a lot.
Same thing with Kentucky. You got to have Nussmeier is a good quarterback.
He is.
But you need a complimentary. You know, when you get the dinner plate, I don't know why I'm doing parties tonight. I love doing comparisons, and they're stupid. Y'all are laughing at me.
Nussmeier stats are.
You know, when you get a dinner plate and you get the forks, Dean.
Yes.
You know, the little skinny forks for digging out the crab out of the meat out of the claw. You get your main dinner fork, and you get a salad fork. You don't have to have all them forks.
You don't have to. No.
Do you?
No.
You don't.
We'll see what Lacey did last night.
But it's good to have. So what I'm saying is, They're going to have to run the ball.
Well, that's what I'm. If it'll go to it, they rushed for 35. A&M rushed for Daniels 91, Moss 83.
Moss is good.
Moss is good. Reed 62. So they rushed for 242 yards. There we go again. The team that rushed for the more won the game. Kyron Lacey, 5 for 106. Adam Anderson, who played for Alabama. Now, guys, he never played for Alabama. He went there and got hurt and decided to transfer to SU. 3 catches for 126 yards. Nussmeier, 25 of 50, 3 picks. There was a time in that game when I'm like, he's best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just went south.
Was it Herbie that was the announcer?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Herb Street?
Herb Street, yeah.
He said it too. He said he's got to be. He's top SEC quarterback right now. And right after that,
But then he went south.
he went to that third quarter, kind of halftime.
Yeah.
A&M kind of adjusted. Hats off to Elko and his staff. Nuss was just done.
He was last night. And I think he's still great. I mean, he's thrown for 2,400 yards this year.
But when your defense puts you in bad spots, and that's happened. It's complimentary football, and you got to have defense for your offense, because if your defense is going out there and give up scores pretty quick this is what happened to LSU. They started giving up scores on like 6-play drives.
Right.
Offense is back out.
Yeah.
And they couldn't run the ball, and they're getting after them. And the place you get them that momentum, that one play I was talking about, that's the spark they needed.
Yeah.
You can see when it happens. When Bama got that pick, I knew then. I said they're going to rail these guys.
Yes,
you can just see it.
It was I'm sorry. It was 13-0. Alabama gone up 13-0. Then when they got the pick, I knew.
You feel
yeah
they're just ready to win.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it. So who's going to be who's the king of this SEC right now? Is that
right now? I'd have to go with. I mean, obviously, A&M is in first place, but I think right now they're playing better ball than anybody, including Georgia. I know Georgia's ranked number 2 in the nation, but I mean, A&M's lost one game. They lost to Notre Dame the first game of the year, and it was close. It was close. It was 23-13, but it was 16-13 there late.
And I'm trying to get there.
He's got them organized, and they're playing very well.
Okay. And
they're playing over their head. They're playing better than they were supposed to. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Look who's left. We got 4 games.
One of the guys said last night, and I hadn't looked at their schedule, said they didn't have a rough schedule the rest of the way.
South Carolina.
Which that to be tougher than people think.
And it is
at South Carolina.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what time it is.
That won't be easy. 6:30.
Oh no. You're gonna get ready. Sandstorm's coming.
Yeah, they may lose that.
When that music drops and them towels come out. I'm telling you, man, Beamer's I've been impressed with him this year.
Yeah, they've done a good job. He's not loaded.
They're
not loaded with players.
They're like that Vanderbilt. They're kind of playing over their head a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, New Mexico State homecoming got you, and then they're going to be at Auburn November 23rd.
Could be harder than we think.
So they're going to play. Auburn's got A&M the week before Bama.
Didn't they play Texas the last game? A&M plays Texas.
Always, right? That's their big in-state rival.
There's 2 more. I mean, easily.
I don't think they lose but 1 more, maybe. I think they can play with Texas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Look.
They've already beat Missouri. They beat Arkansas.
It's at home.
They beat LSU. Yeah.
Texas is at Kyle Field.
Which is a tough place to play.
You see that camera they shot from the upper deck from the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
It's attached to the stadium. It's like a big wide view camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing this when they was
really.
The music hits. The camera's doing this. The whole stadium is just
rocking. Wow.
Could A&M fool around, and if they beat, I don't know. We could go into that next week, 2 weeks, because next 3 weeks, we're going to have to talk about this.
Well, let's pick it right quick. Well, you got Texas A&M. We can go over these. We got to do this anyway. A&M at South Carolina. I'm going to stick with A&M, but I do think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I will too.
Okay, so we both. All right, and we both picking Auburn over Vandy, right?
Man, if something wild happens in South Carolina, that's just the way this season has been. It would suit the season if South Carolina beat A&M.
Yeah,
you would just go,
really?
That's just the way it is. No, I mean it's not even.
And
I don't even put my
Alabama
hands up
fans,
anymore.
You need that to happen. Vandy at Auburn, you okay? I don't know.
I think Auburn's rolling right now.
That's a toss up.
I think if they can control the line of scrimmage defensively, I'm talking about McLeod and Coleman and them. I mean Thompson and that Masua Jr. Those 3 guys. Linebackers need to play. Auburn linebackers.
Vandy's got to be a little beat up.
Yeah, Auburn played their guts out.
Yeah,
they played hard as they could play to go on the road.
Yeah.
I think they can win at home. I'm gonna go with the home team.
You're going with the home team. I'm going to stick with Auburn. I know we ain't got. We need to go different somewhere.
I think the rest of their season.
But no, we just picked these. Heck, we don't even keep up with it.
I don't know if they win another game though. Besides Monroe, they got A&M and Bama.
Yeah, that may be it. They may go 5-7. Florida, Georgia. Any chance Florida upsets Georgia?
Yes.
Do you think they will?
Bro, I'm telling you, this year is the year. I don't care what Booger Boy Lou says.
That's at 2:30. Auburn plays at 11:30. 11:45.
If Florida can limit 20-yard back bombs, they can hold on to Lacey and Ball and them. Not Lacey. What's his name? The Bale
and Smith, isn't it? Arian Smith. Bale.
Yeah,
Love it.
Love it. But if they can just limit that, I wonder if, golly, man, it'd be stupid to pick Florida.
Yeah, you gotta. But again,
they're playing good.
They're not playing bad at all.
And when you get a little belief, man, I mean, look what they did with Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, they could have easily won that game, and they were on him after that. I'm like, really? Over what? Speaking of Tennessee, does Kentucky go into Tennessee and win?
No, I think I think Auburn hurt their feelings because the worst team in the conference beat you.
Yeah.
And held you to under 100 yards rushing. They just run, Hunter runs for 270 on you. I think Kentucky's feelings hurt. I'm gonna say Nico comes in, has a good game, and I don't think it's gonna be close.
All right. Ole Miss at Arkansas, 11 o'clock. And Tennessee and Kentucky played Saturday night. Ole Miss, Arkansas.
Where's it at?
It's at Arkansas.
What, 11:30?
11.
At Arkansas. Yeah. Old Green's pretty dangerous, man.
He is. Had a good game yesterday. They beat Mississippi State 58-25. You going upset in that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me the pig suey. Kiffin's going. That'll be his. That'll be.
Okay, I want to see how we did last week.
That'll be kind of the end of.
I'll look at that while we're.
Ole Miss could still go bowling. I mean, but.
Oh yeah.
I think this is going to put a big damper on Lane Kiffin. I think the talk is going to be.
What in the world?
The talk is going to be pretty critical. I think for Kiffin.
Well, we didn't. That was a few weeks ago. Okay, that was the week before last. I don't have this week. We'll start the week before. We won the Texas. We won Kansas State.
Kansas State may put around and win this Big 12.
They could do it. All right, 2 more, Matt. Pitt at SMU. 2 good teams. SMU, Pitt finally going to lose a game.
Didn't SMU? They went to overtime.
They did by 1.
In,
Watch out, boy. Hey, Jack.
In overtime.
I'll have to clean that up.
Um,
Calm down, boy.
I think Pitt.
You think Pitt wins? That?
Yeah, SMU had too hard of a schedule.
You think Pitt wins that?
Yeah, SMU's just not. When you play that kind of game, it's hard to come back after you have a overtime game, and it's a lot of emotions and playing hard.
Tough to win it. You've had to play hard. I'm gonna go.
Is it at Pitt?
No, it's at SMU.
I don't know. I'm still gonna say Pitt. I think
I'm gonna go with Pitt too. And the last one, Ohio State at Penn State. Is this gonna be the year that Penn State's gonna?
Is that Ohio State?
No, it's at Penn State.
Ooh.
Happy Valley at 11 o'clock.
I bet it'll be the big Fox game. I bet
Mm-hmm.
it'll be the big noon Fox game. Be Joel Klatt and them. I bet.
Yeah, I think Ohio State beats them.
Oh man, they ain't done
They're
nothing.
not playing well. I just think they got their number. I just think they got their number. I don't.
Is quarterback Penn State?
Aller. Well,
Aller?
it depends on him.
Is he playing?
Coming back? Well, I don't know.
Would you stop
They
slamming
probably
that
haven't
stuff?
decided yet. He'll have to play.
What was the injury? See, I didn't see enough of the game.
I didn't see, never hear anything.
So I just seen highlights of the game.
But lucky they won that. I mean, really, especially with him going out, because he's had a good year.
If he don't play, I can't pick a game if I don't even know who the starting quarterback is, and they won't know. We won't know till probably tomorrow.
Drew Aller. Let's see what it's saying.
They may
I
not
think
release
he's
nothing
one of
until
the better quarterbacks in
till
the
tomorrow.
country right now.
Jeff. Would you stop picking Penn State and beat Ohio State?
He's a Ohio Penn. He's a.
Diehard Ohio State has been for 50
They
years.
don't say. He just said he's got hurt and exited the game first half. He had 148 yards.
I know,
in the
yeah.
first half.
Yeah.
He's real deal.
If he don't play Ohio State, they may hurt. They may get on him. But man, Ohio State's just not. They ain't running the ball. What is going on with them?
I don't understand that.
They're handing it off.
And Henderson, I don't think they're. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Hopefully, we had a little bit of a spiel here, not a major one, but I don't think their line's great.
Well, they got seniors, and they should be good.
I mean, is that right now they're just having some problems with the line. They may be great, but right now they're struggling for some reason. I don't know. That may be the blitz packages. It could be anything. You just can't say, hey, their line sucks. We don't know, because Alabama's will have a bad week, then the next week they blow people off the ball.
I
So
got to watch them. I have to go back and watch.
See, I watched that Oregon game, but Oregon just seemed to
They're so fast.
go at them at will, and they had a big
Speed kills speed.
Is Gabriel the Heisman front
Yeah.
runner?
Yeah, him and Travis right now, thanks to I heard.
Yeah, Travis had another big game.
He's
Ward
good.
still third.
I got to shout out again to Colorado. Deion's whoever he's got changed in and calling offense now. This coach, whoever's calling offense, is understand that 11 and 12 man personnel is a part of college football, and it has to be. You got to have run 1 and 2 tight end sets. You have to. You're going to run the football. You can't just stop back and just be like
Rushed for 147 yards yesterday.
Trips every play.
Is that not the most they've had? 147, which is good. That's good.
They've had a good. They're about as good as we thought they'd be right now. I think they're overachieving too.
I thought they would be better this year, but they're actually doing better than I thought they would do. I thought they'd go 7-5.
We had them going
6
bowling.
and 6. Yeah.
We had them just going bowling because the rest of their schedule is what?
Well, here's what I don't get. All it was Dion. Now they're doing good, and you don't hear nothing about it. So, what's going to happen? I mean, are we going to start hearing about it again? Are they going to go overboard with it?
I want to look at their schedule. Utah. Why would it even bring up Utah?
Who?
That's Google. That's just who's running. Well, I know who's running the place. That's probably why it did that. They lost Nebraska 28-10. They lost 31-28 to K-State, which may be the conference champion. We don't know.
They're playing very well.
But they got to go to Texas Tech week after. They're off this week. They got Texas Tech, Utah, at Kansas, and then Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's not playing well.
I
Kansas
think they
is
can
playing
win.
pretty good.
They can win 2 of those. They can beat Tech and Okie State. They may have. They may be able to beat Utah the way they're playing because
I think they can win 2 or 3 of them.
In the summer, we did not have Colorado beating Utah.
I think
Did
they
we?
reversed.
No, of course not.
No.
We had Utah probably winning the conference.
Yeah.
But they don't have a quarterback. Kim's, I don't.
He's out. Yeah. I think they go 8-4. I think they go 8-4.
They can win 2 of these 4. Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State.
Might win 3 of them. I don't think they win all 4.
They could finish 3rd in that conference.
Yeah. 9-3. 8-4 at worst.
With a 5-star left tackle. Not much of a running game to even shake a stick at all.
And a 2-way player.
He played 100-something snaps the other night.
Yeah. He's good. He's the player.
I'm just shout out to.
He shouldn't be mad at Cam Newton, but he's
Colorado.
a good player. He got mad at Cam.
Oh, they talking. I seen him on the other day on the sideline. You know,
I thought he wouldn't shake his hand.
Yeah, they was talking the other day.
Oh, okay.
That's question. You know how kids are. Travis he seems like a sweet kid.
Yeah. He just said he didn't need to be playing both ways. He needed to make a decision.
Yeah, well, the NFL GMs, owners of teams, also told him that. The owner of the
I know
Seahawks or the 49ers, one of those out there said, or maybe in Denver, stop, don't, no more. Because we're not going to play you both ways. We're not picking you. And starting at wide receiver and defensive back, that's not. We're not going to take.
This ain't Rick Grange or Jim Thorpe.
Like, we're going to take a 2nd round. You'll be a defensive back. 2nd round, pick 3. 1st round, pick number 4 is Travis Hunter for wide receiver.
Yeah.
And the Raiders trade in.
Both ways.
Yeah, and then the Raiders trading up on a pick, and they're picking for their defensive back. 2nd round, spot 17. Travis Hunter, defensive back.
Yeah.
Stop playing both ways. Stop it. Deion says he's not encouraging. I had to take a man at his word and not call him a liar. I feel like somebody's encouraging him to do that.
Yeah, probably Deion. I mean, both of them, they won't win, and they know he's good.
He did it.
Yeah.
Not to that extent.
No.
Deion played defense, and they put him in to catch the ball a little bit.
Yeah, he's the only player, one of the few players in pro history to play. He actually started 1 year at wide receiver and caught 50 passes.
Yeah,
while playing cornerback.
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah. Now he was not a huge threat on offense.
Really. But if he
had Michael Irvin.
But if he caught the ball, Deion will get loose from you and get gone.
I think he had 700 yards.
You better not. If he catches it, you better get a hold of him.
Yeah.
You better have your helmet down on him, because if he gets by you or you miss a tackle, he will score, because he was one of the most elusive guys. He'd pick balls and he's scoring. Usually when he picked the ball back in the day,
he was
Atlanta.
Yeah.
021 tore up the sideline, that black helmet, missed touchdown.
Yeah.
When he's high step.
Yeah, he run back about, I think they said total kick returns and everything, like 16 or 17 interceptions.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Punts, kickoffs, and it was a lot.
I don't want Travis. He needs to quit playing both ways. Because they're going to go to bowl game. Now, I don't know who they'll draw. And we've seen some bowl scenarios. And as the weeks go on and we get into November, we may start getting a picture. Because right now, Bama and LSU is kind of, they're going to have a good bowl game. Bama's going to have a bowl game.
Yeah, probably a good one.
But which one? They're going to play in a lesser bowl, because if they lose to LSU, they're just going to play a bowl game. That's the end of the season.
And they may not make the thing if they win out. I think they will, personally.
Will. Yeah, I think they will.
I think they'll be, you got to be in the top 11, right?
Yeah.
I think more than likely. And the committee will come together and put you together. I think they'll put them in. Well, but they're not going to be a high seed.
No, I wouldn't.
They're going to be an 11 or 10.
I wouldn't think they should be, because they hadn't played like one.
No.
Hey, I'm a fan of – everybody's a fan of somebody. They hadn't played like a number 5 team before. I don't think Georgia has neither. I have no idea why they're 2.
No, I think Penn State ought to be 2.
I like Miami at 2.
And Georgia should be 4.
And I know Miami's whatever. They just figure out how to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
They're on a crash course to play Oregon. What about Cristobal and Dan Lanning, 2 Saban guys from that tree?
Yeah.
What about
playing
that?
each other.
What if that happened
It'd be interesting.
in a playoff?
We may get that scenario.
Well, if they're 1-2, they won't play round one.
No.
They'll have to play a 5 and a 8 and a 10 or 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Well, let's get off here. All right, we'll see you guys back Tuesday night right here for some of these games we picked. I'll dive into 2 or 3 of them deeply and give some stats and figures and percentages and some quarterback ratings, and we'll talk about probably we may dig into Georgia and Florida a little bit. I may dig into them, and I'll go through and look at some more.
Yeah,
but definitely that one.
Yeah,
I'm curious about how. And South Carolina has got A&M. Yeah. It's got A&M. I'll definitely. It's just been a crazy season.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick games.
Yeah, it's terrible. Somebody was telling me they were on a pick'ems group, and they were one game over 500 and in first place.
Yeah,
this year.
Well,
one game over 500
because that's
people, not good.
Just straight out pick like, well, they Texas to beat. Well, Texas didn't cover against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, this was against.
I'm just making an example.
Spread. Yeah. No, Texas. No, Vandy won that. Vandy won that 100%.
You could have took them with those points, and
it was like 19.
Yeah, you'd have won. You'd won a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So come back Tuesday night about 5, and we'll go through 2 or 3 of them college games. And Thursday, same thing, 5, and we'll talk about who's Cedar Bluff and.
Ain't not much going on this week.
No.
Now the next week it'll be rolling.
Yeah.
Not much this week.
Thursday we may look around the state and mention some games coming up for this weekend. That's important. Yeah, because I know a couple games.
Yeah, there's probably a few.
Remember some of those we went through? Madison Academy and Westminster.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people's playing out of region.
Those are going to be games.
But some of them will still matter.
Yeah, who's going to play Cherokee County?
Right.
And but the next after we get in November, you may have Coach Short come on. He asked me about coming up here.
Okay.
We'll put him up here. We'll put him on the table. You have to stand on the table. All right.
He'll be right in between us here. All right.
Cookies and milk. Y'all have a great night. God bless you. And subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, share the video. God, man, we appreciate y'all so much. All right. See y'all.
Have a good week.